We live.
We out here, baby. YouTube live. Still trying to make some other tweaks here. Long overdue for the show. We good to go.
YouTube live. On YouTube, it could be shared too.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Got some music playing right now. We're gonna come in and
After the song, fuck it. We out here. We with it.
one more song and we come in and we get all this shit straightened out. And now when the motherfucker shit, you know, what the fuck they was doing?
Mm-hmm.
They go live.
Oh yeah. We hit it. All right, we got it too. Shit, we got it going both ways.
You live now?
Yeah, finally live, man. We back live, man. We back on. We on the air today. Got me, my man, Hippie. We here. We taking care of these technical difficulties.
With a late ass lack.
Yeah, we waiting on late ass Lack to get here. You know, he might be. We might give him that J on the start of the jankiness.
I play one more song, man. Got a lot of shit to talk about.
Absolutely.
It's been a long time coming. Got new mics. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
Gold on you.
Yeah, Mr.
Look at it.
Yeah, we got.
Gold on you.
Oh man, you got the gold mic going on there, man. We got the Perry boys, man.
Got a nice little mic right here.
Oh, hey, look, he got the gold. I get the gold. I get the silver. So
Yeah, you get the visitors mic.
Lack got his own special mic. This Lack mic right here. He gonna be singing and everything.
Nah, I ain't gonna take that today. We got time for that shit today.
Not today, huh?
But we gonna come in though.
All right, let's roll. Lack will make his appearance here sooner than later. So
You ready?
let's get it.
Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. This is Black Hippie Radio Entertainment. This is BHIE Live. I want to thank everybody that has been tuning in to this live radio production, man. It's been dope. It's been going on since the 31st of January. You know, it's as delivered. That's what I've been promising to do and bring things, you know, to the forefront to go ahead and go full-fledged with this motherfucking station, you did. But back on the air. Got the homie LeVar Hamlin.
Yo, what's going on, y'all?
Got your Tim Young. I guess he's supposed to show up, but if he don't, oh well, we gonna keep rolling.
Yeah, he had to start from scratch for a minute, but he on his way back through the line, you know.
That's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But we got a lot of things, man, that we're gonna talk about today, man. We got what you want to talk about? That first event that you brought up?
Yeah, we got a combo show today, man, with the live and direct and to bring your A game sports because we are a little bit behind, but we gonna start this off on a real serious note for the live and direct, man. Because
we got someone in his camp been
unfortunately
that's been playing around in the cookie jar. Now I read the story and
it was more than some cookies, but
he was trying to take the cookies according to the story, but you know
depends on who you talk to.
Yeah, depends on who you talk to. But we got that story we're gonna talk about. Chicago Fire Department been not charged, but allegations of sexual assault. We're gonna talk briefly about the Super Bowl.
I know who it wasn't though.
It wasn't you, because you here right now, so that's how we know it wasn't you, man. But we're gonna talk about the Super Bowl. Also, we're gonna talk about the NBA trades that's been going on today. We're gonna talk about the Anthony Davis and the Lakers situation that's going on. Plus, it's been some shakeups that's been going on too, man. That happened before the 3 o'clock deadline.
Yes, it's a bunch of mad folks out in LA right now.
The NBA draft that went on today. We're gonna talk about that. Not the NBA draft. I'm sorry, the NBA
All-star bullshit
draft.
as we come to know it. The
That went on
LeBron James Invitational is what I'm about to start calling this shit.
That's LeBron James and Giannis. They went and picked their teams. That LeBron team stacked. From what I see, that team stacked.
You know what? Hey, you know what? I'll bring it up later in the show, man.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Plus, we're gonna talk about some more subjects, man. Plus, there's one subject that I put up on Facebook. You know, this whole big old Me Too movement that's been going on. You know, with the ladies, they like, hey, you know, this man touched me, this man touched me. But we forget about the ladies. Y'all touch too. Did they get inappropriate? Yes or no?
Oh, they straddle the fence, man, worse than we do. Shit.
So we're gonna hit on all subjects, man, even though it's not a laugh about it, man, but that's what we do right here on the show, man. We just got a lot to talk about. We're gonna talk about the Bulls. They picked up Otto Porter. The homie Rico Deal. It's his birthday, man.
Happy birthday, Rico!
To the homie Rico Deal. We're gonna be at Rocky Patel's this Saturday. What time though? I don't know.
We gotta talk to Rico, man.
You talk to Rico?
And we gotta talk to him. Every time I talk to him, he been like, fuck him. So
Rico probably just been enjoying himself. Man.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, man, Joe, we sitting back down here. We back in the spot. Down here with the homie LeVar Hamlet. How you been doing before we get off there?
hey, man, birthday was Tuesday, man.
Happy belated birthday to you,
Man,
too, man.
appreciate you, man. Birthday was Tuesday. Had a little blowout Super Bowl party Sunday at AJ's Soul Food Restaurant, man. It was a lot of people there. It take Lack to tell you the whole story about that and Tuesday. So it's like we had a really good time, man. I appreciate everybody that came out, showed us love, gave us some input about the shows, man. Had a lot of interesting comments as well.
We gotta talk about that on the radio then. Everything they said, we gotta talk about that shit on the radio.
Not everything, you know.
Some
people might get exposed.
We're gonna keep your creep business to yourself. Well, man, Joe, we live across the air. Like I say, BHIE Live is 24/7, so y'all can always tune in and listen to music. We live across the YouTube channel. Plus, we live across the air, so y'all can listen, watch, do whatever y'all need to do. So go ahead and get to some music then, man. We're going to come back, man, LeVar. We're going to get into it, man.
Heavy.
And talk about what we need to talk about. BHIE Live. I'm your host, the Black Hippie, down here with the homie LeVar Hamlet. One of Chicago's finest. They did get caught.
You ain't lying.
We back here out here. So we can't start live.
Okay.
Look at my watch. Look at my wrist. Look at me.
Because they got that one fucking button right there that just fucks me up every time. Sound like Latin showed up.
That's how he's in the back, right?
I don't know. Okay. Yo, okay, we finna try to get the setup on this part 2. My bad.
I know what the situation is like here. This not having the truck.
Yeah. Hell no, man! You still got the other one over there!
Oh, well, man, you got two.
I don't want that shit. You take something with you.
What's going on, birthday boy?
Man.
Nah,
Post birthday boy, man. How we looking,
this
man?
is who? Man, look, I'm so geeked.
Black ain't gonna lie.
Yes, sir! Pre-show!
Yeah.
We back, Happy New Year!
Pre-show, we just got started.
Gotta focus.
Oh, we did? Are we already on? We live?
There you go.
Oh,
There
my.
you
Ooh, look at this. I feel like a rapper. You see the new...
I told you, man.
Man. Oh, we on commercial?
Yeah.
And you ain't got no food. Goodness.
go. No food.
What?
This dude gonna gonna say, do I got some food?
Yeah. Like we all in
I
it
got some
today.
taco dip in there, man.
Man, not on duty.
All right, here we
No,
go.
for real, I
Here
got
we
taco
go.
dip in
Yeah.
there.
What the taco dip gonna do? Just
Mrs.
dip on
Jones, what's
I
going
gonna
on?
put them chips, man. I don't know.
Oh,
I can't see that damn far. When age comes, glasses next. So
yeah, birthday boy. What's up, y'all? I made it.
man, he finally made it,
I'm
man.
here. And I got some
I
Saveca.
gotta do this. I'm not touching that shit,
Man.
What's been up, though, Zach?
All right, so
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Yeah, I just thought about it, man.
I haven't seen you since last year.
Hold on,
Since we got the Bears
hold
game.
on. I just thought about it. This is a nice setup because we got both of them going at a decent angle, somewhat decent angle.
Right.
Oh, you talking about the camera?
Yeah.
YouTube Live.
We
What's
got
happening?
YouTube live, man. Tune in. Everybody on
This
Facebook.
my
If you
Sammy
can't-
Sosa.
If you lose it, get us on YouTube.
Oh, we in the building. We got our topics already?
Oh, yeah, we loaded.
Okay, we ready to go. Ooh,
We got-
did
we
y'all
got-
see all these trades that's going on? Mark Gasol to Toronto.
We got that on deck.
Man,
We got that on deck.
boy,
man.
it was like I'm talking about in the last in the last 12 hours, it's been carousels in the NBA.
Man, we had Harrison Barnes got traded in the second timeout of the game.
We coming back in now.
I'm talking about my levels on my
That's
thing.
what I'm saying. We can check them now.
Oh.
So come back in.
What song we got playing?
Jeezy.
Uh-oh,
And this is
Jeezy.
of a hustler.
Okay. Ooh. Would you like some Saveca?
Yes, I would.
I'm not drinking that shit.
I got to get very little though, cause you know
BHI
how to turn up.
live
Already.
right here in the building.
Yes,
We
sir.
done finally got Black to bring his ass on.
I'm here
He made it.
Yeah, he made it.
with my Saveca.
With his suspect.
Mango pineapple.
That's gonna have to do for today.
Anyway, man, right here on BAHIE live down here with the players, man. We sit back and chilling. Everybody levels is all good. I don't want none of that tobacco, man. I'm not like the tick. Black must be trying to bust somebody down tonight, man. That's what that tobacco is about, man. It's not busting down.
Drink. They say Playhouse Radio, low in the
Man.
yard.
So, my man, Joe.
Shout out to that crew.
So, man, Joe, we back.
Happy New Year, bro. I haven't seen you since the Bears beat
How you been
somebody.
doing? How you been doing?
Great, man.
Everything been holding up.
It's been good. You know, you got the baby over here. You see how she growing in front of your eyes and just watching the little one. Man, high school basketball. I mean, just so much. You know, your son hooping, his seniors, Providence St. Mel. Shout out to Providence St. Mel, Reggie Nell, man. Top teams in the state.
Yeah,
I've been telling y'all for the past 2 years. This was the year Chicago basketball was gonna be back, and we praying for the kid from Uplift. He tore his ACL.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
You know the one going to Marquise Jacobs.
Yeah.
Marquise Jacobs is going to DePaul.
Uh-huh.
He tore his ACL last week.
Damn.
Damn, that's messed up.
And DePaul, I actually been catching some of DePaul games on ESPN. They've been on regular. They've been on.
Tim doing a good job recruiting.
Yeah, they've been on TV a lot lately, man. Like I've been shocked. But speaking of them high school basketball games, my son, he played for Providence St. Mel, and I think they like number 2 right now in the Catholic League because.
And they like 15 in the state.
Yeah, they 15 in the state, and them boys, I watch them. Them boys can hoop.
Okay.
And
I saw them against Gordon Tech with DePaul Prep,
mhm,
and they look good. DePaul's got one of them type of teams that
mhm.
is one of the favorites to win state in their thing.
Okay.
It's gonna come down to them and Morgan Park in that
Or
Division 3.
Okay.
When the
Oh,
game,
it's called 3A, not Division 3, but 3A.
yeah, 3A. One game I went to, it was between them and Mount Carmel. They was battling for 1 and 2, Providence St. Mel and Mount Carmel.
Yeah.
And I had went up to Orr because Orr had a shootout, and Providence St. Mel was in that playing against North Chicago. And I'm watching them, and every game I've been to, man, they've been up 20 points on these teams.
You talking about which one?
What?
Which high school?
Orr High School.
Yeah, or is balling, man.
Yeah,
Curie the number
Orr.
1 team though.
Orr
Curie's
ball.
still undefeated, I think.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, Curie the number 1 team.
Where
in
did
the state.
Curie come from?
They got, you know who Curie like? Toronto. They got 10 dudes on their team, and all 10 of them can hoop.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's something about that Red West though.
It's always been.
Man,
It's always something about the Red West. Always been tough.
You know who good though, Kia?
Who?
Oak Park River Forest.
Yeah, they got the boy Enoch over there.
Oak Park River Forest got a squad.
Yeah, they do. They got a real nice squad. I was just talking to my cousin not too long ago, before y'all got here. He used to be the manager for the Oak Park basketball team, my cousin Telly O'Neal, and I was asking him about Oak Park, and he was like, he just went to a game, and he was like, they was doing all right. So,
They good.
I told him, I said, I'm gonna go check out the game and all, and just to see, get a little waiver, but my focus on Providence St. Mel right now.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah,
got
got
around
to.
with that.
I ain't really focusing on Oak Park right now.
That's
Sorry, Huskies, but
That's your number one.
that's just me, man. Them boys doing
You
good.
get your bloodline now, so
Yeah,
you got to
yeah.
go for them.
The boys doing good. All right, shout out to the boys over there. at Providence.
Chicago Catholic League, baby,
Yeah,
CCL.
They actually rocking in the Catholic League, Joe. To be honest,
Yeah, we the best conference this year.
we talking. Let's do a small recap of the Super Bowl.
Okay.
How was y'all Super Bowl Sunday?
I was at a drunk barbecue, so I mean.
I was with
I
him.
think all barbecues are drunk.
I was accompanying Mr. Hammond.
I think all barbecues are drunk.
But hippie,
Man.
the Super Bowl was. It wasn't. I mean, it's not much to talk about. It
That's what I was
wasn't.
telling about. I said we gotta go through a brief.
I mean,
some
Brady.
brief-
You know what?
Brady won. He's 6 now. There's no debate. Please don't debate about him not being the greatest quarterback ever. Edelman, kind of that replacement story, or underdog, is now the MVP. The Patriots won 13-3. Gurley didn't show up again for another year in the playoffs.
I think Gurley hurt, man.
Well, that's 2 years in a row he didn't show up.
No, I think.
So is he the Chris Paul of football?
No.
He don't show up in the playoffs?
No. And anytime in like basketball in the playoffs, teams switch up on you. Now teams switch up on you and they take away what you do really
I'm
well.
gonna give me some tequila. Y'all talk, man.
The man averaged $1
This
billion
man called him
yards.
the Chris Paul of football, man.
The man averaged $1 billion yards in the regular season, and coming to playoffs, he ain't even crack 100 in 2 games.
But you know what? The thing about the Rams is you shut down they running game, you have a chance of shutting down their whole offense. And think about it. That's what the Patriots did, and they held that offense in check for the most part. You only scored 3 points. Anything under, like say 20 points is considered playing excellent defense.
But how was you the high power? And we talked about this. I think I asked you and Hippie this question in week 8. I said, when the playoffs come, and you take possessions away, would team still be able to score 50 or some points? And I forgot what the debate was. We have to go look back at that show.
No, it's not so much as scoring the points, but it's about now you need your defenses. Your defense got to give you key stops. And the Rams,
They punt.
they did that at times. But see, here's another thing about the Rams team people fail to realize. Cooper Kupp was really missed in this game because he brings a whole other dimension. But at the same time, you have 2 weeks to get ready for the other team. And let's not come off like the Patriots just blew this team out. The Patriots was in a dogfight, and both teams defensively had each other's
LeVar, when you gonna stop bullshitting? and get to
Yeah,
the point?
true story.
No.
13-3.
It was 13-3. Both teams.
When are we gonna stop bullshitting and just get straight to the point?
Brady is the greatest.
About who? Brady?
And
Sean
Belichick and
McVay
Patriots.
He choked. He changed up his coaching philosophy because he was intimidated by Bill Belichick.
He was texting Bill Belichick. In the Super Bowl.
That's the only thing I can think of.
But you know what?
Because you know what? You can tell his offense was switched up because this Patriot defense actually stepped up.
Yeah.
Which in the playoffs, the Patriots defense been stepping up regardless, though. Let me get that clear. But they really stepped up in the Super Bowl.
Right.
It was a defensive Super Bowl. Now to the football player, to the football fan, this was a great Super Bowl because it was defensive. It was old school.
I mean, it was.
Get what I'm saying?
It shows you 3 phases you had to
But
play.
to the new Superman, to the new Super Bowl fan,
The casual fan.
the casual fan,
They hated it.
I like to call them the AKs, the after Kaepernick fans.
The ones that's just like they're gonna be the bandwagon jumpers because
Right.
you like to see the high scores, the high points, but you don't want to see it on the other end. Like there is three sides of football you have to play.
Yeah.
The offense was just taken away. Both teams took each. They
did.
Brady wasn't Brady.
No.
So it's not like the Rams played that bad.
He made the right throws when he fucking.
I think experience ultimately kicked in with the Patriots. They just made the key plays and
Gronk
the
and Edelman
key
stepped
moments.
up.
And that was it. No,
Gronk
Sony Michel was another.
Sony Michel.
He took a lot of pressure off of Brady.
He did.
And it's just like once they went up, I was like, man, I think that one pass, that crucial pass that Gronkowski made, I think that was the longest play of the game.
Yeah.
That set everything up. And like I said, they just made key plays at the key time to pull away and pull it off.
I mean, it shows in the ratings it was the worst Super Bowl of all time.
Because it wasn't 51
ratings.
and 54 points
But
each.
hey, no.
I mean, they still talking about the Rams and the Chiefs playing that put up 50 points apiece. And think about it, 50 points in football damn near guarantees you a win.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at some point, get out of that, or it's all about points. Sometimes you need a team to put, you know what I'm saying, that boot in that ass and say, look, you ain't finna score on us. That's the mentality.
Lamar Jackson was in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to switch subjects.
I just had to say that.
No, we finna get off that, man, but like I said.
The Super Bowl, it wasn't Super Bowl party worthy.
Not Super Bowl party.
It wasn't worth getting wasted and all that. And
I agree with that.
make it into a
Speak for
holiday.
yourself, but it was my birthday.
It was your
this morning.
birthday, so that's a different story.
So it was that added element.
We call that Creek Bowl, not Super Bowl. We call that Creek Bowl.
Hippie, what about the NFL
You know
honors?
what? I will argue that, but it was kind of true.
What about the NFL honors with the awards that was given out? Patrick Mahomes, Offensive Player of the Year, the MVP of the entire league. He won like 5 awards.
Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
I didn't watch the awards.
Yeah.
Offensive Player of the Year,
He won MVP of the whole league. Offensive Player of the Year. He won the FedEx Air.
No, that's really not a yearly award, though.
But it's like who had the most yards.
Yeah.
It's like a quarterback award.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley won
Rookie of the Year.
running back of the year, rookie of the year, offensive rookie MVP.
Yeah.
Offensive rookie MVP as a whole, and running back of the year.
I was a little disappointed. I think Aaron Donald actually got Defensive Player of the Year.
And he got the sacks.
No, he was the sack leader, but that was the only award I really had an argument. I think that and Defensive Rookie of the Year because I'm not taking.
I thought Khalil Mack should have won.
I think Khalil Mack should have won Defensive Player of the Year because, you know, when you Defensive Player of the Year.
Don't speak as a Bears fan.
No, I'm not speaking as a Bear. I'm not speaking strictly as a Bears fan.
We won 6 games, 5 games.
But you elevate everybody else's play.
And they all Pro Bowlers.
And a lot of those guys went Pro Bowlers. And look at the win streak. I think he was +7. +7 on the wins from last year to this year.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to factor that part in it. And it was just that one player. Okay. I'm not. That's for Defensive Player of the Year. Now Rookie of the Year, I would have gave it to Derwin James.
Not on duty.
But I can't. I would have given it to Derwin James.
He got defensive. He got the rookie of the defensive rookie of the year was Darius. I forgot his last name.
Darius Leonard from Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
And I can't really argue with
But
that.
no, Saquon Barkley, like what he did as a rookie, like him and Baker Mayfield should have been 1-2.
You know what?
Because Baker Mayfield got one up.
And you know what? And that's another thing. You could have made an argument for Baker because I don't think the Browns won last year.
So could Baker get? You think he should have got Rookie of the Year?
Nah, if he would have got it, I would have been mad. But Saquon Barkley was consistently a killer. He led the NFL in rushing as a rookie. He was at Penn State last year.
Yeah.
And he led the whole league. Your boy that didn't show up, Chris Paul of football, didn't even win it.
Chris Paul of football.
But you know what? Hold on. Here's the thing.
Girlie, I'm talking about you.
Here's the thing.
I hope you listen.
Here's the thing, and I'm not a Baker Mayfield fan, but I don't think they won a game last year. And I think they won seven, 8 games this year. So the win loss, the plus in the win column, and you had some explosive games as a rookie, kind of put you up there a little bit.
I think because he didn't play every game.
And let's not forget this: the coaching changed mid-season, and you still put up numbers. So I mean, that's a lot to deal with too, because you're just dealing with different personalities and different coaching schemes in terms of schematically and game planning and what kind, like if you're gonna run more or pass more. So you have to deal with that when you make an in-season coaching change.
No, but I think Hippie called it last year. He said that they was gonna win 6 or 7 games, and they did.
I was right there with them. I thought,
Yeah.
but I actually went and said they had a chance of winning the AFC North, but they
I
didn't.
tried to tell y'all, them boys gonna be, and they're gonna be good next year.
Yeah.
They have an attitude about them that I would love to have a whole bunch of teammates to ride with me on the court or the field.
Oh, they,
Oh,
they
yeah.
followed Mayfield for sure.
It's not necessarily a following, it's an all in togetherness brotherhood. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. And you can do that with your quarterback,
Yeah,
right?
you get out there.
It start with your quarterback.
It start with your
And
quarterback.
both of y'all quarterbacks, y'all know.
Now I have to deal with that when I play for the CFD team, and it's like, and don't get me wrong, like even though like I'm a bag up for the most part because there's an incumbent, but there's no doubt that those guys will jump behind me because I come in and I do little shit like, man, look, we coming up with new celebrations, man. Like I told him, I said, when you get in there, so I want you to raise that football up and be like Eddie Murphy in The Golden Child when he got the knife.
Yeah.
Like, man, I got the knife.
Yeah.
I told him the damn knife. Like, you come up with certain sayings like that, and the guys just gravitate to it, man. And it's like the next thing you know, it's like it's all with your attitude.
It's the camaraderie.
And it's a camaraderie, and it's about being positive. Like, you don't jump on somebody, you know, if they mess up, man, you always that encouraging voice. But at the same time, if somebody, you know, even against your own coaching staff, if your coach come down on the player, you have to sit there. Sometimes as a quarterback, you can intervene with that coach, like, no, it was on me, it's not on him, such and such and such. This is what I seen. This is how they played them. Like, if you come to your teammates back in front of your own coaching staff,
Yeah.
you get brownie points. You win locker room points that way
Sure.
too. And guys will get behind you and sacrifice more than you think they will.
Well, that's the problem Carson Wentz having. I don't know if y'all saw the article, but Carson Wentz is trying to figure out how to mend some relationships that he messed up in the season because this is the reason why the guys didn't follow him, but they followed Nick Foles.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an article that he's trying to mend some relationships with guys because he don't have a locker room.
No, he don't.
Now, here's the thing. It's like, I think everything with Carson Wentz, his pride and ego is hurt right now because the backup came, won MVP,
And
And
almost took
excel.
him back to the Super Bowl.
and almost went back without you being an integral part. And he had a down year. He wasn't Carson Wentz, or his progression was stunning. Now, if you go back to last year's Super Bowl when the Eagles won it, when they was bringing the trophy to the thing, Google this shit. I'm not gonna lie. He sat there and told Nick Foles, man, you did a good job. It's gonna be me next year. Like proclaiming, you gonna be out of here, but I'm still gonna get us back to the Super Bowl. And when you bite off a little bit more than you can chew,
Mm-hmm.
your pride and ego get a little hurt because now it's like it's evident your backup is producing better than you, and it's like you ain't got
Way
to
more than
stand
him,
on.
produced better. And he was the MVP.
Yeah,
Oh, your boy Andrew Luck got comeback player of the year.
he
That's what I'm
deserved it.
talking about.
He deserved it.
That's what I'm talking about.
And Shaquem Griffin,
Mm-hmm.
he got game changer, the one without the hand.
Shaquem Griffin
He got game changer of the year.
Yeah. Inspiration.
That's exactly you took the words right out of my mouth. He's an inspiration for all to show that he's an inspiration to show that all can anybody, no matter what the handicap is, can make it in the NFL or make it in any sport or make it in anything you got to do, whether it's sports, education, or whatever. Man, I take my hat off to him.
And and
Hurry up, man, because I gotta go to music.
yeah, we gotta go. But I'm saying he's basically with one hand is like, look, no excuses.
Yeah.
He put everybody on, look, whatever your excuse is, chew that shit and eat it, man. We ain't got room for no excuses moving forward.
We gotta, before you go to music break, we gotta acknowledge 2 of the most important awards. Coach Nagy won Coach of the Year.
Oh yeah, Coach.
And
Nagy,
Coach
Nagy.
Vic Fangio won Assistant Coach of the Year.
That's dope. So shout out
Of
to the
Chicago Bears.
Shout out to the Chicago Bears and their organization and the coaches that they did. I'm excited about next year, man. But we're gonna go ahead and take a music break. We come back, we're talking more. We're talking these NBA trades that are down. Plus we're talking about the NBA All-Star draft between LeBron and Giannis. It's gonna be a good one. My
Yeah,
name
LeBron
that
James
teams.
invitation.
My name those teams of who on that list. And we're gonna give our thoughts. Plus later on in the show, we're gonna talk about a few subjects, a few personal subjects. We got a Chicago Fire Department fighter, Chicago Fire Department fighter.
I know one person is
Chicago
not.
firefighter
I know who is not.
that's in the news, man, for sexual assault. We're gonna talk about that. Plus, we're gonna talk about a few social social subjects that's been coming across the social media wire, man. You know, y'all know how we do. Live and direct show, bring your game sports talk radio. Get back in y'all ear.
Yeah,
Oh,
good.
he picked the starting five. They, Giannis and LeBron picked the starting five.
Hold on, how the hell did you get AD, James Harden,
And
Kyrie
they picked
Irving,
the entire team actually, and they traded.
Kevin Durant, and who
And
else
they,
am I
no,
missing?
they traded Russell Westbrook
Yeah, you
for
were
Ben Simmons. So Russell Westbrook can play with Embiid, because you know him and Embiid don't get along.
Mm-hmm.
So they did that. They traded Russell Westbrook and Embiid.
All right, Facebook. I got
They,
it.
they traded Russell Westbrook and Ben Simmons. So Russell Westbrook is now with Team Giannis. So
Oh,
he
yeah, I
played
saw
with
that.
Embiid, and they was laughing about it because they know they don't get along.
Who, Russell?
And Embiid.
Right.
Let's go to the pull up your other thing and go to the pull up your new tab and go to the all the trades that happen. Like NBA trade. Go to NBA.com and go to the trades. Yeah, because they got a whole list. It's crazy. Like I was like, what? Like I woke up at like 4 in the morning hearing them talking about that. I stayed up. I've been up since 4 in the morning.
Damn.
Yeah, what the fuck did I just order morning from?
Cause I heard the TV on and I heard like all the trades. I'm like, what? He going well? What? And I stayed up and I rewatched Sports Center, and I was like, dang.
Big bro, what's going on? I got my man Thomas, man, played football with him in high school. Thanks for tuning in. All right, while we on YouTube, Facebook. I said I had an announcement when I did my pregame while I was over here, on my way over here. Got a trivia question.
I got it right here.
No, I got one.
No, I'm talking about the list for the team, man.
Oh, okay.
For all the trades that happened today,
Yeah.
man, it's crazy, bro.
No, I'm talking about for the All-Star.
Oh, you got the All-Star list. All right, we looking at the trade thing.
Now, here's a trivia real quick.
That's good. We got both of those up.
Hey, Grand Prix, here's the stipulations. 10th caller. Call in. You give us the correct answer. $50 gift certificate
Oh, shit.
of anything of your choice. I'm coming out of pocket. You let us know when to send it or meet you at.
Birthday boy.
Got you. I'm saying it right now. Here's a trivia question. Last, say, 38 years, every NBA Finals have consisted of about 7 to 8 players. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant. I'm trying to think it was one more. It's like seven to 8 players. In 36 of the 38 years, they've all been in the finals. There's 2 years that none of those players were in the finals. What 2 years were they? No Shaq, no LeBron, no Kobe, no Michael Jordan, no Magic, no Tim Duncan.
38 years.
In 38
2
years,
years that neither one of them were in the finals.
36 of the last 38 years, somebody out of that group has been in the NBA Finals. It was 2 years they were not in the NBA Finals. None of those players were in the NBA Finals. What 2 years were they in the last 38 years?
Not in the NBA Finals.
Not in the NBA Finals.
Hold on, say that one more time.
In the last 38 years, 36 of the 38 years, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan,
Marcus Fultz got traded.
yeah, and LeBron James have been in the NBA Finals.
Okay.
There were 2 years where none of those players were in the finals over the last 38 years. Give me the 2 years and the teams that played in the finals that year.
In the 38 years?
Yeah,
Ian Shumpert
in the
at the
last
Rockets?
38 years.
We're coming back in. BHIE Live, I'm your host, the Black Hippie, down here with your Tim Young, Big
Yes,
Tim's
sir.
finest, also one of Chicago finest, LeVar Hamlin.
We're gonna drop the finest word for the night based on the topic we had tonight. I gotta find the radar right now.
Oh, okay, well.
All right.
Well, we was talking about something out there. You wanna put that out there?
Yeah, I said on YouTube.
Well, say it across the
Okay.
man.
I said we got a trivia right now. It's 10th caller that calls in. Give us the correct answer to this question.
What if they don't call in and do it keep going?
Nobody get shit. Nah, I ain't gonna. You can't do research real. You know what I'm saying? A couple of days later, to come up with this shit.
So it's just for today.
It's just for tonight.
Okay, I got you.
Matter of fact, I might kick it up to $100 gift certificate.
If nobody gonna win?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't think nobody gonna call in. I don't think we gonna get 10 calls to call in with it. But
Keep up in the ante. I answer.
last last 38 years in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA Finals have consisted of Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, and LeBron James. They have been represented in the NBA Finals 36 of the last 38 years. What 2 years did none of those players represent the NBA in the NBA Finals?
That's a good subject, and I can't wait to see what's gonna happen and see how people gonna chime in on that, because
I got a gift certificate out there for them, you know.
the
So
only thing I can think of is
Dr. J.
no, we ain't gonna say it.
Okay.
I'm saying
If you think about it, just write it down and we gonna slide into each other. 'Cause I ain't giving the answer out there to the end.
Okay.
because I know 1 year for a fact.
Okay.
I know 1 year for a fact. Can I give a hint?
When we go off air and you gotta write it down to me, man.
Cause I think I can write down one to you right now, man. But we're gonna talk about this basketball that's been rolling, that's been floating around now. I want my $50, man.
I said to the caller, man, what you want to step out and call in?
Yeah, step out and call in.
Hello.
Hey, hit me, John Bone Jones.
Hey, look, you gonna have the 2 cup special, like, hey.
You open the door and see him like, boy, get your ass back in the studio.
Before we get into the trades, because the trades gonna take a lot of talk, man. Because we got a lot of people we got to talk about the Bulls. You got a lot of people that's pissed off about what the move that the Bulls done made. You get what I'm saying?
I'm not.
So I'm not neither. I actually like Otto Porter, but anyway, let's talk about this NBA All-Star draft. You got LeBron and Giannis as the 1 and 2, meaning like the captains.
Okay.
Right?
All right. In my book, Giannis is the 1 this year, and LeBron is the 2.
No, LeBron had the first pick.
But in my eyes,
Oh, you talking about
yeah, Giannis is my MVP right now. And
He had the first pick?
LeBron had the first pick.
LeBron had the
Shit,
first.
all figures. Okay.
So on the LeBron side of things, you got Durant, Kyrie, Kawhi, Harden, AD, Clay, Dame, Simmons, Aldridge, Cat from over there in Minnesota,
Yeah.
Karl Anthony Towns, Bill, and Wade. Now on Giannis' side, you got Steph, Embiid, Paul George, Kimber, Middleton, Jokic, Russell Wilson, Blake, D'Lo, Vucevic, Lowry, Dirk. Now who is D'Lo?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Who?
Who is D'Lo?
Oh, D'Angelo Russell.
Oh, D'Angelo. He have been balling
Yeah,
this year.
for the Nets, yeah.
D'Angelo Russell replaced Victor Oladipo.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh,
That's
okay,
right.
okay.
Because Victor was looking pretty good. So
He's looking very good.
Who got the better squad?
really,
Better squad.
That's why we talk, man.
The East, well, not the East, but Giannis' team is bigger.
No, I think LeBron team is bigger.
Giannis, because he got Jokic, he got Embiid, him. Well, he traded Ben Simmons for Westbrook. Middleton like 6. a 6'9" shooter. So like it's like I don't know, man.
You know what? You know what?
You got Curry over there. It's gonna be interesting.
You know what? LeBron got the better team because the NBA called his ass. This is called a spade. And right now, the way I'm looking at the shit, man, believe it or not, I'm like, you can tell who literally have like hatred for one another, man, or who just really don't like each other in the NBA right now. Because you notice since he started this shit up, he hasn't targeted Giannis or Steph at any point as being a teammate. And with LeBron's game, he always surrounds himself around with 3-point shooters. So now it's like, okay.
Vucevic is nice.
Yeah, he is.
Dirk made it though.
Now,
Dirk and D Wade got the honorary.
They
Adam Silver nominated them.
That's like the lifetime achievement
Yeah.
award. So basically, that's like
No, seriously, Adam Silver nominated them too because they both retiring this year.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's like, okay, you little kid that never got no playing time, but we're gonna give you a trophy anyway, type shit.
I got you.
That's what it's like.
Don't talk like D Wade and Dirk didn't body the league.
No,
They shot stuff up.
No, I'm not
for a long
saying
time.
they never bodied the
And
league.
some of them are still effective.
No, I'm not saying they never bodied the league, but are they all-star worthy this year in you guys' eyes?
They probably just acknowledge them at the tip off. Both of them on both teams. They might play like 2 minutes and sit down.
I would say the honorary tag, if we're gonna call it an honorary tag.
No, that's what he did. That's actually a thing.
Oh,
Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, selected D Wade and Dirk Nowitzki and called them honorary All-Star members since their last year.
I think
After they made the whole team.
I think Vince should have made that.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I think Vince should have been there over D Wade.
I think Vince playing another year after this.
Oh, so I thought D Wade was too.
Now D Wade done this year.
Oh, he done this year? Oh,
Vince
okay,
gonna
okay.
play one more year.
Oh well, if Vince gonna play one more year. Save Vince. For
That's
next
the
year.
original knees.
Yeah, save him the next year.
CL.
Save him the next year. But let's talk about these trades that's been going on.
Damn, shit. Damn, everybody in the Lakers management that committed suicide this morning.
Why you say that?
Man, I got a whole bunch of shit going on. Like, they put so much stock into trying to get AD to the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting up here like, okay, what's wrong with, you got a really good, nice young nucleus right now as you speak.
Okay.
Okay, you have to groom these boys to play because now it's like you can set yourself up. Like, think about this, because this calls, like I said, it's called spade a spade. You cater to LeBron way too fucking much, All-Star game and with this league, that when the nigga don't get his way, he put like 3-4 chairs between you on the bench, and he's over there by himself. Like, that's some spoiled aggression.
How did like you being a basketball player, being played on a high school, college, and a professional level? You see a teammate do something like that, what LeBron did, sit away from this young team who need veteran guidance, championship guidance, and you basically the face of the league. What kind of blemish does it do? It put a blemish on his career? What do you think the locker room is thinking? What do you think the family? How would you respond?
I think I would have responded the way Rondo responded to D Wade and Jimmy Butler in Chicago last year, when Rondo said that when I was a rookie, my vets didn't talk to me and treat me like that, and he put a picture of him, KG, and Paul Pierce together. And then KG went on Area 21 and rebutted what Rondo was saying. And Rondo obviously got in trouble with the team and whatever. And Rondo basically called out D Wade and Jimmy Butler for how they were talking to the younger guys. Now the Bulls ended up making the playoffs that year and everything like that. But I would have kind of took the Rajon Rondo approach of calling out the superstar of the team for, basically kind of turning his back on the younger guys like that.
What you think, Devon?
You know what? See, I know from a football standpoint, like, you ask me that shit, like, dealing with Cody Parkey, oh yeah, like, you better go sit down there, because we might kick your ass. Seriously. But like I said, I'm saying it's different.
Since you want to get into
No,
time
no,
for football,
no.
What if Khalil Mack did that?
Oh, we have problems. We got problems. Like, we're gonna address that as men behind closed doors among ourselves. Like, you can't be down with us and wanna have handshakes and hug us and shit when we winning, but when the shit is tough, you turn your back and you like, okay, well, it's everybody else's fault. Like, no, you win as a team, you lose as a team. And you know what? I've always said this when they had this talk about Mike and LeBron. You have to have the ability to make everybody else around you better across the board. You just can't do it for your own self, your own agenda. And that's what the man is about. And that's why, like, in terms of like on a basketball sense and building a team around him, I would never start that up in that way, because you get, like I said, you got a bunch of young talent that has potential to get you to a championship. But you have to put that work in to say, look, hey, you come to work out with me. Look, y'all come to work out with me. It ain't gonna be no Paris. It ain't gonna be no Australia. We here in LA. We in this gym every day, and we finna work on our games. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time. You know what I'm saying?
That's how Mike did BJ
You know what I'm saying?
Armstrong.
Look, I'm not finna go.
Horace Grant and all them boys.
Guess what? I'm gonna like that. Like, look,
Tim Grover.
when your kids is involved, like Bronny, and you wanna go to the AAU games, okay, that's understandable. But every other time, look, I'm finna put this work in with my teammates, because there's the thing of, there's the perception and then there's reality when it comes to any athlete. Now, when you're winning, the perception is you're just a great teammate, you're this and you're that. But when you're losing, all the other little things come out. And that's where we're at right now. And it's like, and it shows. Think about it. When you was in Miami and you was winning, or you was all buddy and next to hugging everybody and all your teammates, but now you're with the Lakers and you have to actually put in that work to be the guy, and you really don't have nobody else. Now you isolate yourself from your teammates. That's not a good look.
I personally, I wouldn't want to play with no one.
I don't see how you can.
Because it's like every year we go through some type of soap opera and episode with this dude LeBron James. You get what I'm saying? Every year it never fails. And now you left a team in Cleveland which you had as your kingdom, you know, as your place to where you can do anything you want, and you go to an already established organization with over 16 or 18 championships. You just put more tremendous pressure on you than ever before than going to Miami. Because now you have Magic, Kareem, Kobe, Will, Shaq. You got all of Worthy.
Logo.
Right.
The logo. You got all of them to now you chasing that ghost now. Can you deliver like they deliver? You get what I'm saying?
He never delivered like Kobe.
But that's my thing. So for you to go there to that type of organization and display this type of attitude, it speaks volumes about you personally,
Right.
as a player in the locker room.
Right.
Can you actually be that star player to bring this team together and win? Now it makes me question a lot of games in Cleveland.
Hold on. I mean, we've been doing the show. I've been doing the show with you guys for about a year and a half, and I said that shit since day one. I'm like, I see a lot of things that people just, you know, they drink the Kool-Aid on. It's your prerogative. I can't change your mind because that's who you're with. That's the guy you like. Keep in mind, I'm not a LeBron James hater. I love his game, but it's the other little things. It's the intangibles. I can't get along. I can't get along with. Think about this. You put in more effort to send your little guard dog Rich Paul out here to set all these rumors and to swindle his way to try to get and manipulate AD to come to the Lakers, instead of say, you know what, Kuzma, you with me, Ingram, you with me, Ball, you with me. We got a nice what's the other guy, Caldwell Pope, who's another nice player. Look, we finna work out.
Caldwell Pope is good.
No, I'm saying we finna go work
He
out.
was a killer in Detroit.
Man, Caldwell Pope. Yo, he killing with the Lakers.
Yeah.
I'm saying
about what, 16, 18?
Yeah, I'm saying you put the work in with the team.
Score.
You put the work in with the team. You know what I'm saying? And when you talk about greatness, and with the mentality, it's like, I don't give a fuck who on my team. We finna go to the ship. you just better be ready. You just better be ready to put this work in like I'm finna put in.
Like I said, me personally, I don't. I'm a LeBron fan, but I'm a very critical LeBron fan. You get what I'm saying? Because as far as like for this generation and era, LeBron has been the best. That's just you got to. Nine appearances to the finals, even though 3 out of the 9 was won. That's still a good record. You get what I'm saying? That's straight. 9 straight almost, and you can't take it away from him. But for me to be a player in the league right now, to see a player of your greatness sit on the other end, and you got this young talent, this young core of players that you're not in their ear, you're not talking to them or nothing, it'll make me be like, Joe, do I even really want to sign you? Because you're a prima donna, man.
And guess what? If I'm his teammate and I'm like, my name is in trade rumors right now, because you as a teammate, you see things in practice behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. Guess what? If the shot no, you take this ball, you take the last shot. I can't say you got my back. Mm-hmm. It questions that. And on no matter what team, I don't care if you're on 16 or on 82. On some level, you have to trust your teammate. You have to trust your teammates. And it's like, I can't trust that you don't have my back like you want me to have your back. Mm-hmm. It's just no way possible. And if you're about self, you finna get what you deserve. Go out like you're lonesome. You know what I'm saying? Because all you think about is yourself.
That's all you think about. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to get into another music break, man. Come back. We're going to talk some more. We're going to talk about this. We didn't even talk about the different trades that didn't happen.
Yeah, we could go through it. We could talk
it's
about
a lot.
Yeah. Miritich and
it's a lot.
And Milwaukee.
We're definitely going to come back.
I think Toronto's the team to beat.
We're gonna come back and talk about the Bulls and
Boston
the trades that's been going on. BHIE Live, the homies of Tim Young, Levar Hamlin. We'll be back in a minute.
Yep.
Alright.
Boston need to make a move.
You too. I got a boy, Donnell Price. He said LeBron is like Mike, but the new era of players are different. It's all about money. It's all about money.
You lost me with that first sentence.
No, but he said it's all about money in the new age. Back then it was about balling.
LeBron's trying to be a billionaire, so he got to be selfish if he's trying to get $1 billion.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing. That's why he's ruining all of these things. And if, like with Kuzma, with Ingram, with Lonzo Ball, them 3 guys gonna be NBA All-Stars in the future.
At some point,
at some point.
And it's a learning process. That's why I'm like, if you groom them players,
get rid of them.
Here's my thing. LeBron is primarily a ball handler, but then he wears down. You got a guy. I'm gonna take Lonzo Ball for example, who can also bring the ball up and play point guard.
Yeah, he's one of the best pure
who can give you a break and allow you to expand your game.
Did you hear what his father said?
Yeah, he said if he went in on Magic, he went in on LeBron, and he said if they trade Lonzo, they won't win a championship.
No, he said Lonzo Ball better than LeBron James.
He been saying that shit. I give him this. He is a hell of a marketer.
Barnes,
that is the father's love right there, man.
That's the father. He said, he
got him the number 2 pick in the draft.
Pretty much. And I think the baby brother gonna probably get number 1 at some point.
Oh no, he cold. He's so cold. He the best one. And he done grew. He done grew.
How tall is he now?
Like 6'7".
He playing overseas.
He lying.
He back over here.
He back over here now?
He back over here, yeah.
Playing high school ball?
Yep.
The youngest little brother is 6'7" now?
Ooh, boy. Boy, you gotta watch him. Watch these videos of him. He's so cold.
I'm gonna have to check him out.
Yeah.
Chump to the Rockets.
I mean, you got Otto Porter. You got Marc Gasol to the Toronto. I think Toronto the team to beat now.
Toronto was definitely the team to beat.
Kawhi and Marc Gasol. And I think Marc Gasol.
Didn't they get Conley over there too?
No. Conley stayed in Memphis.
So Lowry stayed?
I think Conley gonna go to San Antonio.
Lowry stayed in Toronto?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nick Saladukas went to.
Oh, the Clippers traded Tobias Harris to the Sixers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For who?
Markel Fultz.
No, Folks went to Magic.
Orlando. I'm sorry. He went to Orlando.
Oh, let me see. Who came to the Clippers?
But here's another thing. It was talks that the Lakers probably should have targeted Jimmy Butler because he does a lot of tear down in that Philly locker room too. And that
he think he's more than what he is.
and they saying that Tobias might be a better fit because he's a better 3-point shooter.
Tobias fit though.
Yeah, he is.
He's a good defender too.
Marquise Morris is with the Pelicans. No, he got waived by the Pelicans. He went somewhere else though.
Oh, and they traded Big Boban, the Urain dude, and Mike Scott to the Clippers. And then Wilson Chandler, Muscala, and Shama to the Clippers. Shama's a shooter.
Okay.
Muscala and Wilson Chandler from DePaul.
I think a lot of teams are trying to share that. Oh yeah, Cantor got waived by the Knicks too.
Yeah.
Like so, I'm thinking they tried to trade him.
I just read somebody looking, waiting on that to happen. It ain't happened yet.
They said the Celtics might. They said when it happened, they said the Celtics might.
The
jump on that.
Celtics should get Cantor for sure, cause they gonna need
A big man.
Cancer nice though, man.
Cantor's super nice.
He coming back in. BHIE Live, I'm your host, the Black Hippie, down here in the player spot with the homies of Tim Young and about Hamlin. Just sitting back, we talking sports in this first part. We recap the NFL Super Bowl. We talked about this draft, this all-star draft that went on between Giannis and LeBron James. Went over the lineups and everything. Talked about trade talks, got into different subjects. We're gonna talk about the Bulls. Right here in Chicago, might as well.
Porter.
It ain't nothing to, be excited about, but we got the Bulls, they pulled off a trade. They sent Jabari Parker and they sent Bobby Portis. They sent them over to Washington for Otto Porter, plus a second-round pick that was also included too. Now, you got a lot of people that's not too happy about this.
I don't know why.
Why would you trade to get another $100 million contract player?
And that's what a lot of people are mainly looking at, LeVar. They looking at money-wise, but as a basketball player, I'm looking at how can this guy fit with you moving forward.
In the fourth year.
You get what I'm saying?
Year, or is his third year?
How can he, because let's get it twisted, man, and a lot of people brought up, Otto Porter, man, he 12 points, 12.3 points a game, and such stat, and such stat. Well, how can you obtain more stats when you play with a player like John Wall, you play with a player like Bradley Beal, just to name the two ball dominant guards, right?
You got
there.
that Morris twin over there.
Yeah, you got the Morris twin.
No, I think he just got waived too. He got traded away.
Traded, yeah.
So Otto Porter is not a bum because the year before last, he was the main reason that the Wizards was kind of staying afloat in the playoffs. And that's when I really pay attention to players like, how you gonna do in the playoffs when the time's critical and you really gotta think more? When you really gotta put your game on the line in order to beat out your opponent because that next game is getting you closer to that next round. So the situation and the mindset and the gameplay is gonna be a little bit different. Like we can watch players all through the season and judge them off that, but I mainly judge players in crunch time and playoff time.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this: do you think that trade was more about getting better as a team, or getting out of that bad contract with Jabari Parker?
I think it was both because Portis had picked up on the contract too. What people got to understand that the Bulls got rid of 2 contracts and 2 players that didn't contribute defensively. One player, Jabari just didn't fit.
No.
Jabari just didn't fit. Let's just get that clear. Jabari just didn't fit. He wasn't the player that people thought he was gonna be. I'm just gonna say that. He's a damn good player, but he don't fit this team. He just didn't fit. Portis stayed injured too much.
Yeah.
He was making a nice amount of money. He turned into a 3-point shooter. He wasn't down low no more. He turned into a pick and pop player, not good on defense.
But that's the NBA these days.
But at the
But he
same
did it
time,
very well.
Right.
exactly. So, but with Otto Porter, you get a consistent player that's gonna be there game after game. He plays defense. He's gonna give you a consistent, easy 18 points a game, maybe about 7 rebounds, and about 4 to 5 assists. Now that's good to complement of marketing and the Zach LaVine and the Chris Dunn.
And
now
that's what I'm worried about because Levine, when he goes to scoring, he kind of get into that ball stopper mode himself sometimes.
Levine, I think the Bulls should use Levine as trade bait next year. I think Levine need to be traded somewhere, and you pick up some nice pieces because Levine, he lacks on offense. He lacks in crunch time situations with critically thinking about what he needs to do with the ball.
I think they're gonna get that in the draft.
And you think Zion Williams?
Nope. Jay.
Ja?
Yeah.
My boy.
Ja Morant.
They need him.
And guess what?
If
They
the Bulls
need him.
get Ja Morant,
They need
with
him.
Otto Porter on one wing, Levine on the other,
And let
big
Morant run the
fella
one.
marking it down low
with
with Carter, with Ja Morant running your point.
But
The
you
Bulls will be back.
and you know
Wait,
what?
the Bulls, let me just say this. I really want the Bulls to find somebody to challenge Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn has not played good this season.
But you
Man,
know,
since
Chris
he's been
Dunn will be Ja Morant's backup.
but you
He don't have to. He don't
But
have
you
to.
know what? Me and Lack was talking about that. What was it, Tuesday night
Yeah.
at Robinson's. Man, it was like, man, like, nah, I want them to get John Morant
I'm
because
telling you.
there's a lot.
I've been
like,
saying it for the longest. Like everybody making this big fuss about Zion Williamson, and this dude.
What the Bulls need, we got marketing, so we don't need a fourth.
we don't need him.
We need Ja. We need a
guard.
The close to we gonna get to Derrick Rose. I call Ja Morant Lil Penny Hardaway.
Yeah.
Because he could shoot,
mhm.
he could pass on the double team, he could see his IQ side, he'll dunk you, and he defend.
Listen, 24, 6, and 10.
That's good enough for me.
The Bulls need to get Ja Morant. If the Bulls get the first round pick,
24,
the
6,
number
and
one pick,
10 in college basketball.
get Ja Morant.
That's good. That's
He's
good.
almost at a triple double for college
But I
basketball.
think Zion is gonna go to either Phoenix, Atlanta, or Cleveland.
But you know what? Like me and like I said, I
Dominique
think.
Wilkins part 2 in the
Yeah, he Dominique. Yeah, he the new Dominique.
But you know what? Me and Lack was talking. Like I said, me and Lack was talking about this Tuesday. I said, man, it's like when you look at that triple double stat. I think that triple double stat means more on the college level than it does in the NBA level right now.
Nah, if he doing it in college, imagine what he gonna do in the league.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's harder. It means more on the college level because you're in that one position. You're not moved around as much as opposed to the NBA where you just got the free
And
range
you
to
don't have
go
better
anywhere.
players.
Let me say this. Williamson is a man amongst boys right now. You get what
He a
I'm saying?
phenom for sure.
He's a man amongst boys, and he's playing this ACC, and these boys are wild by him. I mean, they are in awe about him, and to see him do what he do live,
Mhm.
it mesmerizes you and take you off your game. He didn't do that to Gonzaga. I like the boy Harusha.
Yeah.
Harusha.
Yeah.
I can't
Kawasaki.
You know, like we got a lot of
I'm not really,
we got a lot of lottery players that can challenge Zion Williamson for that number 1 slot that's like more all around than him. That will actually benefit more from that player attribute than him. I don't think the Bulls will benefit picking up Zion Williamson.
I think the Clippers might get him.
They already sell out, so you don't need them for tickets.
Right.
He'll be a good fit for the Clippers, that boy from Gonzaga. A great fit for the Clippers.
Now,
okay.
with the Bulls, they pick up out of port. Like I said, it's just money.
Yeah.
Now you just open up $20 million for the summer.
Mhm.
Everybody like, well, ain't nobody gonna actively come in here. Listen here, you flash $20 million a year in front of these players. Listen, you're not gonna get LeBron, you're not gonna get KD, you're not gonna get Russell Wilson. I'm saying Russell Westbrook. You're not gonna get who else in high profile? You're not gonna get James Harden.
Kawhi Leonard.
You're not gonna get Kawhi Leonard. You're not gonna get AD.
Well,
No, you're not gonna get AD.
You're not
He's
gonna
not coming here.
You're not gonna get
He
AD.
does.
Those are top 6. Those are top 6, really, right now.
right.
You get what I'm saying?
You're not gonna get Kyrie.
You're not gonna get you. It's possible. You never know.
Kyrie not coming here. But if we get Ja, we don't need Kyrie.
Yeah, that is true.
That's true.
But my thing is like with those players, it's still over 100 and some other players that you can put together the right formula with the right philosophy and win ball games. Detroit didn't have a stop, and they damn near swept the Lakers. Damn, that was the win. They damn near swept the Lakers, or did they sweep the Lakers that year in the finals?
I think they they don't.
won
They,
six.
I
They
think
won 6?
the Lakers won one
One
game,
game.
and that was it.
No,
They won 1 game. But use that for example. Look at Boston when Kyrie was gone.
Oh man.
Just look. That's what I'm saying.
I think they were better last year.
I think a lot of people get too caught up on names and they forget about the intangibles of the game that certain players got in order to put together the right formula to win ball games. And when ball games get won, you go to the playoffs. When playoffs get won, you go to the championship. When championships get won, you build experience, you build confidence. And I was talking to my cousin today about this, and I'm like, everybody's saying God packs, everybody's saying this and that. Out of the last 15 years, the Bulls have drafted good quality players. The Bulls have not had good quality fucking coaching. When we gonna talk about that? Everybody keeps saying God packs and God packs. That's just a scapegoat. Let's talk about the coach. You bring in a Tim Floyd. You brought in a Vinny Del Negro. You know.
Neil Cartwright.
We call it a blessing.
He still got his head. He still got a hairprint.
We call it a blessing with Thibodeau, but you threw Thibodeau shit. But he showed you.
He just got fired again.
Yeah, he got fired from Minnesota.
And guess who think might take his spot?
Who?
Fred Holborn.
Hoiberg?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Holborn.
But and then you get rid of Fred Hoiberg, then you put in Jim Boyd. When are you gonna stop cheating us as fans? That's what I want to know.
They been cheating us, man.
No, when are you gonna stop cheating us as fans as far as like giving us good quality coaching? You have nice players in a wide open East that can compete. When are you gonna give us a worthy quality coach that can put this puzzle together and so we can see the fucking picture?
You know what?
Dunn is not a bad player.
No, he's not.
Robin Lopez is not a bad player. Marvin is not a bad player. The rookie Hutchinson not a bad player. Unfortunately, the rookie got hurt. What's his name? Not Hutchinson. No, it ain't Hutchinson. The guy from Duke. What's his name? Carter. He out for the season. They're not bad players. He
Hutchinson out too.
Hutchinson out now?
Yeah.
Not to mention, this dude Selden Jr. is nice.
Yes, he is.
Shaq Harrison, nice.
Yes.
You got quality players on your team to put it together to survive in this wide open East. You just don't have the coaching and the coaching philosophy to make it fucking happen.
You think they might be trying to tank again because it's a good draft?
I don't think they've taken. I don't think the players responded to the coaches, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's what when I watch the Bulls, that's what I see. I see disgruntled players.
But then again,
that they just out there playing.
But then again, even when you have star players, how good is really coaching? Because it's been some really good coaches that deserve jobs that's getting the boot too.
I heard Jason Kidd coming somewhere.
I don't trust Jason Kidd.
No, the rumor was that
the Lakers, right?
Yeah, LeBron is sitting out so they can, because Luke Walton is not Magic Johnson and them guy.
This is the same dude that gave the Nets the old banana in the tailpipe for Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why would I trust you as a coach?
Exactly.
LeBron pissed him off. He out of that.
LeBron wanted him as his point guard in Cleveland.
It's funny that nobody mentioned Mark Jackson at all.
You know why? Because Mark Jackson is a guy that's gonna be like, I'm gonna do it my way and forget what you're talking about.
But then you know what? I mean
that's how Tom Thibodeau is.
Hold on, ain't that the way Pop is?
Yeah.
So I mean that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Pop delivers championships.
True.
When you winning and delivering championships, you can have that attitude.
Okay, so even with that attitude.
I'm not saying what people. I'm just saying that's how it goes.
All right, but here's something else that how it go. Can it be said that Steve Kerr didn't build his Golden State team? Mark Jackson did.
But Mark Jackson didn't want to. He didn't want to comply. Let's just put it like that.
So are these executives looking for more yes men out of head coaches, or are they looking for good?
When keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah, are they looking for the best coach possible to maximize your team's ability?
I'm gonna just say like this: if Mark Jackson was a coach, all this crap that's going on right now within the players, and they playing through it, but all this stuff with KD on the bench with Green and all that, that stuff will be going on.
Hold on, another coach, and you know what? His team is playing pretty good considering that they're in the West. Doc Rivers' team.
Doc Rivers could coach, and he gonna get his players respect.
And that's what I'm saying. But it's like
he got Harold looking like an all-star.
I'm saying he's real big one. I need it done my way.
Right.
So I mean.
But his players respond. That's what I'm saying. But
right.
Mark Jackson would be like that.
Yeah.
Well, that that Bulls,
But they scared of him.
that Bulls situation right there, trading for Otto Porter, I like it. If you don't,
Yeah.
oh well, I like
And
it.
if we get John Morant, that's gonna be like the best thing because now John Morant got 2 wings.
Okay. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get to music. When we come back, man, we're gonna talk about the Chicago Fire, the Chicago firefighter that got caught up on sexual assault charge
That's messed up. And it made the news.
by another. She was a Chicago firefighter. Yeah.
Mm.
By another Chicago firefighter. We're back here out here in a minute. BHIE Live.
Wow.
It wasn't me. All I'm gonna say.
That's crazy.
Oh, you can't have sex with a 26-year-old woman?
Did you read the story though?
Read the story. That's not what happened. I still got it put up.
Oh.
All right. No phone calls. Should I go ahead and just give out the answer real quick?
Go ahead.
Hold on. He said he was gonna write it down. Let me see if he got one. And it shocked the hell out of me when I had to look it up. Like, damn.
Mm. You should have him hang out with you with all these thirsty chicks and be in these
Did you read the story?
Yeah, I read the first half.
Now this you might have to cut your live off and make a special post about to see if some motherfuckers can really chime in about it.
Mm-hmm.
So you might have to cut that off and read it in and put it back in. So motherfuckers are like, oh, okay.
Let's play two. Let's go 2 songs. Then so we give me time to do that.
You said what?
Let's go 2 songs. So
I
we
got
give
you.
me time to do that.
No problem, I got you.
YouTube, you can call in too. God damn it!
You going outside?
All right.
You
Look,
going outside?
I got my baby.
this is what we doing.
I'm gonna go to Rocky Patels, man.
What's up, Rocky Potatoes?
We go shit.
Oh yeah, he did say the Marshall people.
Log it off. Live and direct topic
If-
coming
if-
out.
if-
Female targeting.
if
Tune
we-
in.
If my daughter mom, yeah, I'll try. Or if she be like, nah, it's my day and I gotta do my thing.
You know how that is, man. Man, Joe, like you just don't know how happy I am, man. Just seeing Private Sector Male do what they got a good team. Like you gotta come check them out, Joe.
I saw when they played Gordon.
They got a good team.
They played on TV. I mean, the Ballpark won, but I was like, wow. And they was like number 10 then when they played the Ballpark. The Ballpark, they just got that boy Perry Cohen. He tough.
They got this dude, his name is something Jackson. When I say this motherfucker can jump out of jail, I mean,
Kind of like Shannon Brown.
yeah, I think he got a rise to Shannon Brown. Joe, they was playing against North Chicago, and the guy from North Chicago went up for a layup, and I mean he put that motherfucker almost like a floater. Man, dude damn near caught that bitch at the top of the square. Give me that motherfucker. I say, damn. I say, this is a squad right here, Joe. They got a big man. He about a good 6'9". Nice. Got footwork. He just lazy. That's his only problem. But muscling and get him on. Joe, they got the components to win, man.
What class are they in?
I think it's 3A.
They in 3A?
I think so.
Oh,
You gotta come watch
I
it.
think that was-
I'm going Friday. Matter of fact, they playing at Joliet Friday. I'm going to Joliet to watch it Friday.
I'm going to Fenwick and Gordon tomorrow.
I feel like board play tomorrow?
At Fenwick.
That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I'm going out.
Who else you think would be a good person to tag in this one? Who starts some shit?
Make sure you put that in y'all play or reloaded shit.
You gotta do it for me when I upload it.
Yeah, put it in Pit Life and Why don't nobody like? We live right here. Let me.
What you said?
That's nothing. I said we get off there.
Mm-mm.
But I got a question for you.
For me?
Now for him about somebody that people
is it-
seem not to like.
Oh shit.
Okay. I got you.
Maybe make it
We already know.
yeah.
Well, shit, I don't like being a dog. I want to know.
No, we gotta talk about it off
I
there.
gotta say a name.
We gotta talk about it off, yeah.
Cause sometimes A, is you want more. Hey.
That's true.
But anyway, yeah, I didn't know what's the situation with that. All right, hold on, I gotta go to your page because I gotta tag myself in, which is the first we just did.
So what's the subject again? This firefighter?
Female target because we was gonna loop in Chris Brown.
Right.
Chris Brown be female target? I thought you were gonna talk about Aura.
Because no, Chris Brown, right before the Super Bowl, he got accused of that rape charge in London,
Oh yeah, I did see that.
and then they dismissed it because the bitch was lying.
Cause he went on live and talked about that.
I gotta do this, man, so I can be in the damn thing, man.
Just a little bit.
Put the book right now and sit it on top of the book. That way it'll stand
Yeah,
out.
I thought the book was supporting something else.
No, the book is just there.
It's better.
Slide it over. Yeah, there you go. Now you got it.
Cool. Alright, y'all, hardcore topic coming in. Female targeting. Y'all ain't right. I don't want to hear about none of this innocent shit
I
going on
do
out
it.
there.
You ain't put no title with that.
I did.
No.
Because that's what I did. Live and direct.
How do
No,
I
I said the title of the. What we
No,
talking about?
no, that's different. I just
how do I do it?
What?
The to add people.
Okay. This is what you do. I just tagged you to it. So I tagged you guys to it just now. So when I said live and direct, topic,
It shares.
choose a group. And it's gonna pull up every group. So it's that, man.
Masuka.
Mm-hmm.
Masuka.
Yeah, we're gonna strike some nerves with this one, man. So when we say 66 to 1, man, I'm tired of these motherfuckers up here. Ain't no good men out here. Nah, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
This targeting shit, man.
Yes, sir.
Motherfucker don't comply. Now you wanna throw his name up under the bus because he ain't on the same shit you on. He ain't on the same game plan you got.
It come back in.
Y'all on some LeBron James shit. Now I see why y'all like the K-Boom call out.
It come back
She
in.
got a party coming up.
I know she do shit.
BHIE Live. I'm your host, Black Hippie. Down here with LeVar Hamler and Tim Young. LeVar said I can't call him one of Chicago's finest because they're a little bit under stress right now.
Yes, there's shit going on right now.
But on today, well, let me go ahead and get this spiel. We live across the air. Y'all can go to Black Hippie Radio Entertainment. Right on your Google. I don't know why I'm not in this dude video, man. But anyway, you can go right on Black Hippie Radio Entertainment. Plus, you just go to the website, go Spreaker or whatever. Plus, we live across Facebook. Plus, we live across YouTube, man. Just sitting back, we talking, we chilling. In recent news, LeVar just brought this to my attention. You got and Chicago firefighter, what's his name? Here, you go ahead and run the story.
Yeah, it's the topic right now. The topic right now is dealing with female targeting, and it strikes a little home with me because I got a fellow coworker. I'm not gonna put his name out of there out of respect.
Yeah, let's keep it Discreet.
Because it's alleged.
Yeah, it's
Let's,
alleged.
let's be sure. It's alleged of sexual assault of a woman he was dating. He's 32, she's 29,
26.
26. All right.
Yeah,
It's
young
facts right
tender,
now.
Well, you know, they're 3 years ahead of us.
young tenderoni.
But they got some things. Everything was said to be done at his house, at his home, when everything went down. And after the assault, she went and she tried to report it at one hospital. This hospital couldn't perform a rape kit, and so she waited a couple days before she went and did this, and then she filed charges and so on. To make a long story short, the charges was brought to this young man. He turned himself in. He gave up his phone and said that everything was on the up and up, saying that there was a friendly conversation even afterwards. But now the man is got a $50,000 bond. He's on house arrest, and he has a court date at the end of
He
this
got a
month.
bond, he's been charged.
Yeah. Now say his next court date. He said, hold on. He was bailed out at $50,000.
So, I read the details of the story when the Bob brought it to me. The lady went to one hospital 4 days later. The hospital didn't have that, so she went back to another hospital, and they gave her a rape kit, which test results are still pending. You ain't gonna find shit, but anyway. But you got this guy who, to my knowledge from what I read, they were in a basically like a consensual relationship, right?
Right.
And it came to a point to where I guess she said no during a period of the time, and he kept going, and I guess she felt at the period of time like this ain't right, you know.
Yeah.
And now he has turned himself in because she went to the authorities and said that, hey, I told this man no, he raped me. Rape kit came back. Well, rape kit ain't came back. She went to the hospital 4 days later. I see some suspicion.
And
What you think about the story, man? I just gave brief details.
Yeah.
yeah, we both kind of did. So,
It's wow.
do you feel like this man was targeted first?
And that's the subject, female targeting, because
right.
we got Chris Brown before the
Before
the
this?
Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
He was accused for rape. You know, lady say he raped, come to find out she was lying. This is not, we didn't have a lot of cases where these ladies have used their body in order to trap certain men with certain statuses in life. You get what I'm saying? As far as like money wise, you feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we want to talk about. What y'all think about this story? And then we're gonna start tackling the time in, since we done gave like the small details.
For one, I know that there's this perception of how well we do in life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to confirm or deny none of that on air right now or ever, but you can look it up. That's all I'm going to say. But if you have an agenda and it's like you're trying to make somebody feel a certain kind of way about you, you have your own agenda, and you're not up to par, because sometimes, and women have to understand this too, like, I'm not finna sit here and all the way female bash and defend the guys and so on, but sometimes you wait for that guy to get in the right situation or get right before you put your bid in. And it's like, I got a feeling that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I can speak for all of us men. It's like, if you wasn't with us when we had to go through all the no's and denials and rejections to get where we at, we're not gonna take you serious in terms of a long-term relationship. We're not gonna look at you that way because
Hold on, wait. Let me jump on the lady side right here now.
Mhm.
Like you said before,
can't speak for everybody.
you can't speak for everybody,
Right.
but look at salaries. You will see how much, you know, that organization makes, you know, from starting off on up to veteran.
Right.
She's with the fire department too, man.
Mm-hmm.
So that means she's making a nice little buck too. So let's throw that out the equation.
Well, like I said, the report I had, I didn't see where she worked at.
It said she was a firefighter.
Oh, she was.
Yeah, look at the top.
You know,
Didn't it say fellow firefighter?
no,
Keep going.
no. Mm-mm.
Oh, damn, it didn't say that. I thought
No,
it said that.
it
Okay,
wasn't.
my fault.
Yeah, I thought, yeah, cause
No,
that's what I thought she was a
That's what I thought
no,
too.
no,
That's
it
what I
was,
was like, that's
and
weird.
it wasn't by somebody who was already in. And believe it or not, and I got a coworker, you know, one of my instructors in the academy. He actually married another female firefighter,
Makes sense.
and they understand each other. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, understand this: in terms of first responders, 64% of them end up, if they're married before they get into that field, they end up divorced within the first 4 years. So it's just as hard on that person as well as the spouse, because you have basically a 2/3 divorce rate. So for anybody else coming in, if you have any kind of agenda, you know, it's not going to work out. So back to my point, where I was trying to say, when a man has to go through these no's and these rejections and work hard, he's not going to look at that woman and take her seriously in terms of a long distance relationship, because, and I'm not saying
a long-term relationship.
a long-term relationship, because a woman sometimes,
long distance mean like
no, I'm saying long term.
long term.
saying.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
But a lot of men are like, if you wasn't feeling me then, why is you feeling me now? And so that opens up. See, what people gotta feel and realize is that's the first step to seeing if you're gonna be trustworthy, or if I can lean on you if I get in trouble. And this is a classic case of a woman had an agenda. He didn't comply. He was on his own thing because he knew where everything was at. She had different thoughts, or you know what? He was probably on some Playboy shit. He had multiple, and it's like her feelings was hurt. So she went about it a different way. It's a bunch of different ways you can look at this thing, but it shouldn't make her look good.
So do you feel like he was targeted?
I really do, because put it like this: if it was any legitimacy to it, it's two things that would have happened. Okay, one of them, he would not have turned himself in. He turned himself in. So it's not about whether he's guilty. His innocence is right. You don't turn yourself in if you know you're dead to rights.
Right, I get what you're saying.
The text message just said that everything was consensual. Now here's the third part. She went to one hospital who didn't have the kit. They didn't have the kit. She waited 3-4 days before she went to another hospital,
I read 4 days.
which had the kit. So now you have to piece all these things together. Ladies, you know, if somebody do something detrimental to you, you're gonna go out your way to make sure you get justice. You're not gonna wait no goddamn 4 days before you do.
Is this the new thing right now for females?
I think so. You know, I think that's something that gets overlooked when people talk about relationships and why it's so hard into dating and everything like that, because I see a lot of these posts. I read a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I care to know what my fan base is thinking about. You know what I'm saying? So this is my way of gravitating towards and bringing awareness to a lot of topics that we talk about every day, but you don't witness it or you don't see it as often. And this kind of hits home because, you know, this is a fellow colleague. I'm not going to look at him no different. I understand.
I just, first off, let me say, to all of our followers and fans all across the world, all across the country, if you are somebody that's ever experienced like some type of rape or some type of situation where things wasn't consensual, I hope you receive the justice that you definitely deserve. I hope you receive the help and everything so that you can mentally get yourself back out there, know that everybody isn't a bad guy or everybody isn't a bad woman, and that it's just certain people in the world that just have bad intentions. As far as like, this situation, what happened with Chris Brown, even I know me and Hippie and all of us talked about the trainer from Michigan State that is in jail right now.
That's
for the things
another
he
good
did.
one.
Yeah, for the things he did, and the Penn State, former Penn State coach who's in jail for like 40 years for what he did at Penn State. Those are
That win
like
strong, ain't it?
that win is strong. Chicago win. Those are clear-cut examples of somebody who was sick, who have a problem, and look to selfishly hurt people for their own pleasures. Based off this situation with what the evidence shows, and like you said, we are still looking for the results of the kit that's going to come back, and hopefully
Call in, Samantha.
it gets published as well. People do things for having their own agenda.
Yes.
Both men and women both do things. What happened to Chris Brown? This lady in London saw a superstar want to get money. This seemed like a situation where, the gentleman has complied with everything the police has asked him.
Yep.
Turned over his cell phone, opened it up for the police. He's did everything that they asked him to do.
Yeah.
And he himself said, "Hey, this was consensual. This is something," and the messages showed it and things like that. So if this young lady has decided to, use something to try to sue this gentleman to get his money, his hard-earned money, being that he's in a career like Hippie said that is very well off.
Yeah.
This is the reason why it's very difficult in this in society to have serious relationships, or you have to be so cautious about who you date because of these things.
Is that the new hustle now?
For the ladies?
Yeah,
I wouldn't say
that's
it's
new hustle.
new.
You know,
I would say it's new, but is it making a comeback?
It's definitely like seen, like it's so bluntly. For example, Hippie, we on social media, and there's women out there that says a man have to pay me to have sex. I was like, oh really?
Listen here.
I'm not spending
I'm
a
not paying
quarter.
no woman for sex.
I'm not spending a quarter.
I don't give a fuck if you consider yourself a bad chick and all that other shit. Listen here, let me tell you something. Tim said it's 66-1.
Facts.
That it is.
60.
Also, out of them 66-1, it's a few nice, healthy women out here that would do a lot of nasty shit. There's a lot of varieties of women. You know how to go with that bad one, man.
And in any case, I'm at a family barbecue.
You don't gotta give up that 40 or that 100.
No,
I'm just saying.
but seriously, and like I said, I think it is a new hustle, but let's look at this the other way, because you got some men who target women.
708-328-8923.
You got some women. You got some men out here who target women that have very good jobs too, because they looking for somebody to fill that mama void, and to take care of them too. So we're gonna cut it like both ways. I'm not gonna sit here and have it come off like it's strictly a female bashing thing. I'm saying it's about a targeting. It's targeting somebody with ill intentions is where we're kind of headed at that, because with this topic, very few people fail to look at themselves in the mirror, because let's face it, like my co-host said, my panel said, everybody has an agenda at some point, and depending on the situation, the who and the situation,
Who that person is.
that too.
Yeah.
And so that's what it kind of comes off to me. And like you said, like even with Chris Brown, it seems like everywhere he go, he is targeted. Now I'm gonna bounce back and counteract, because I got a viewer here on Facebook said, well,
Chris Brown is targeted because of Rihanna.
that's that too. But here's another thing. Had a viewer. She said that she had a friend that was actually raped by a preacher, and she didn't go till days later. So here's my thing: is if you know something bad has happened as a woman, why did you wait so long before you go? You know, right?
Let me just say this, Go, before you go on and you dig yourself a hole with these ladies.
No, I don't care, man.
Let me just say this.
I dig a circle.
When they get to be a victim of something like that, you know, I'm trying to put myself, even though it's hard, I'm trying to put myself into that understanding category of how they think. Yeah, they feel shame, they feel embarrassed, and then sometimes it be with a person with so much influence with your family or with your organization.
Or preacher.
Or, you know what I'm saying? It be so much. So therefore, their words is much more mesmerizing, you know, to certain people in order to like sway them to think different. You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes maybe that female they did some
right
throughout life that people might look at her like maybe you a liar. You know, more like the boy that cried wolf. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It could be one of those type of situations.
I got to count for that.
Now we're not gonna totally go in here and we're gonna say that yeah, all women targeted men, because you do have some women they have been in certain situations to where it was a level of influence by the person that was doing the harm.
And even the man with power was like aggressive and said, I'm gonna take it because I got money. And I can do what I want to do.
Just to bring up the R. Kelly situation, you got a lot of people that say with the R. Kelly situation, that's basically the basis of the R. Kelly situation. He's a man with money. He's a man with power. Is even allegations out there that he had a man killed because of one of his women and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So people look at certain things and be like, man, if I go to the press about, or if I go to somebody about this, my father, my mama might die, or something might happen to this person, or he might try to come kill me, you know, after this. And you got to think about all those mental things, you know what I'm saying, that a woman goes through.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Can I counter that?
Go ahead.
All right. Because I actually was engaged in a conversation with a friend of mine one time. And he was talking about, you know, don't get me wrong, he was in a messed up situation in terms of marriage. And guess what the woman said when he sat here and said about all the problems and stuff that he went through? Guess what she sat there and said?
What?
That's the situation you put yourself in. As a woman, if you got the balls to sit there and say that to a man, I'm gonna hold you to the same fire if it's on the other way around. So like you said, if it's with an influential dude and you in that situation, you put yourself in that situation. I'm not condoning nothing, but I'm saying don't straddle the fence in terms of coming off having morals on one end, but then setting other standards on another.
So she went to him and said he told her that he was sexually assaulted.
You talking about this guy?
No, I'm talking about you. Oh, you was talking about that?
No, I'm talking about a guy.
You talking about the
I thought I said I was a guy.
It was a guy.
I said, I'm trying to loop it back in. He was talking about how he made a mistake because he married the wrong woman and everything that she was doing.
Okay.
And how he was kind of somewhat stuck because of other legalities and financial things that went into it.
Right. That's another thing.
And I sat there and witnessed it. A woman sat there and told him, said, you put yourself in that position. So if you, like I said, as a woman, if you got the balls to say that to another man and be unsympathetic, you got to be able to take your medicine the same way.
You got a lot of them out here. You got a lot of women out here.
This generation, man. This
you got a lot of women out here that got this fairy tale image of men. You get what I'm saying? They got this fairy tale image of men, and they want men to be this certain way, but they don't even know how to be 100% woman them goddamn selves. You feel what I'm saying?
And I think that's where this.
What you say, you don't take them low, or you don't say what you always say.
You don't put them up too high on the pedestal, and you don't put them down too low.
No, you keep them eye level. I keep all women. I keep everybody eye level. I don't put nothing past, because I grew up around women and I've seen a lot of despicable shit. You get what I'm saying? To know that, hey, woman.
Oh, soak it in the sink, man. You know.
Man, I done seen a lot of despicable shit dealing with men.
Bros hanging on the clothesline.
All that shit. You get what I'm saying? It's just that I am not that type of person that's just going to completely jump on the side just because this is a woman.
Right.
I need all facts and lined up in order. I need to read and get an understanding so I can move forward on like, okay, this person right, this person wrong. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, women targeting men nowadays, I have seen that it has came down to a point to where it's real high. I mean, just to name some of the people that we know. Let's just say, for example, Bill Cosby.
That's a prime example right there.
You get what I'm saying? But then you got people like Charlie Sheen, who was a predator basically.
Yeah.
He passing out AIDS, that's what I called you, a predator. That's still walking around. He got a TV show and a magazine cover coming out. That's already out. But you got Bill that's serving damn near life in jail. You get what I'm saying?
Man, and I hate to say that's like where the world is coming to. So it's like, wait a minute. Can we sit here and say, based on you bringing up Bill Cosby was targeted?
Yeah, Bill Cosby was targeted.
Right.
In my book, Bill Cosby was targeted.
Is Charlie Sheen being targeted at any point, or Harvey Weinstein? Because
They're not being targeted.
nobody's talking about the stuff that they did.
708
They're not being
328 8923. Because
They're not
a
being
lot of
targeted.
you ladies are saying a lot of things. Please call in. We would love to hear your point of view. We would love for you guys to call in, join us on this live show, and just say what you feel. Because we got three guys. We're speaking from experience. We're talking about what we see from a man's point of view, from a male perspective. So if you guys want to chime in and give your perspective, we will listen. We will understand. We would love to hear what you have to get. So what you have to say. 708-328-8923. Please call in.
Melvina Murray, you hit it right on the head.
She really did.
What she say?
Melvina Murray said,
Little girl mentality is basically.
this era of female don't know the real or true meaning of being a woman. They have girl mentalities.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
We live in a generation that's so social media driven, so
I agree.
Yeah.
love and hip hop. I'm trying to be don't nobody like the way I made it off the west side of Chicago is because I dream and I grind. I dreamed and I grind, and I woke up
No, you
12 o'clock
No,
at
like
night.
you.
I got on the playground. I did what I was asked to do. I put effort and heart to become what I became and what I am.
Like,
And a lot of people, man, they just want things given and they doing anything to come up. And when you talk about females, these females are not like the females that we grew up understanding. Like when we were raised to say, this is what females are, this is how you should treat these type of females. You can't open doors and give flowers and go on dates with females that are like, oh my God, you see what he doing, this and that. I'm gonna run through him, or I'm gonna use him for what he got. I'm gonna play him, and then I'm gonna eat, and then go to my other dude at the house that treat me like trash, and give him the love and attention that he needs.
Hey, and that happens
this
more
is
so.
the life, like the era we live in, and which is why, man, like me, I'm single, but this is why you gotta be so as a man now. And again, people like is listening all over the country, all over the world, and people that's watching us on YouTube and Facebook. I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from a male perspective based off what we're seeing in the generation that we in 2019. This is what's going on. And you can say it ain't me, whatever. It's somebody.
Yeah.
It's somebody, because this is what we do.
No. Here's the thing. A lot of women say it's not me, but they don't really take a hard look at self. Like, I went through that situation myself. I had to take a look at self. And here's the thing, and here's the key. When you can take your look at yourself and judge yourself on the harshest level, and finally come up with the concept of, I did everything in my power and I was right and I did it the right way, you reach a level of revelation.
Yeah.
Whereas
reflection, but you reach that level of revelation by reflecting.
exactly, and so you move forward and you know how to do better, and you know when not to accept less.
This beautiful young
Now-
lady, Love Grady.
Yeah.
Sweetheart, can you please call in at 708-328-8923?
I don't know. She might cuss us out. I know her. Man.
No, let her call in and let her vent. I want to
Uh-huh.
hear, because I see all these things like she disagreeing and she saying like this and that. Won't like get on the hot seat. Let's hear your voice. Forget the text message. Call in
I don't know, man. There's gonna be some cuss words.
708-328-8923. When we live and direct, and you can use any type of language because this is our show.
There's gonna be some cuss
And we
words.
got hippie on our team.
Let me say this.
We might need angry man when she called in.
We do this.
With today's society and the way the world been going, man, let me just say it. The roles have flipped. It has flipped a lot. The woman in this day and age, in this era, they are in the power right now. They are in the power of the politics right now. They're in the power of, as far as like this Me Too movement. You can't even look at a woman wrong, and she gonna yell Me Too.
Well, you can't, man. You fart. You give out a silent assassin towards her. You sexual assault. You in jail. You got handcuffs. You got record, fingerprints, everything.
My thing is, us as men, it's not like back in the day like it was long ago. We have to move a little bit more cautiously right about now. We got to move to a point to where we might have to take that female role and start examining their ass a little bit more. You get what I'm saying? We might have to look at it like that. Because a lot of us are starting to get caught on the backlash of what we think is cool in society. Now with the boom of social media and everything, of people being able to be exposed and all that, this is a female's claim to fame.
But you know what?
Not all, but this is
you know what? I want to agree with you. I can agree and disagree, because you're right. The man-woman dynamic in today's society today, the roles has flipped.
It has flipped.
But when you look at why they flip, is because
to degrade the black man.
No. I'm gonna take it. I'm trying to take it a step further, because
black woman get empowered. I'm saying no. Forget that he's a man, but you still gotta respect him as a man.
Hold on, no. Here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with a woman having power. I'm saying.
No, I know. I'm not saying.
But I'm saying.
Nothing wrong with it at all.
But I'm saying.
Don't abuse it.
But I'm saying.
Exactly.
It's nothing wrong with.
Don't abuse it.
It's nothing wrong with a woman being in power, but a woman is thrust upon being the head of household or taking charge of something because of the man she chose to be with that doesn't step up and be a man. Because when a woman takes over, they're going to be nurturers by nature. So
it's their fault that these dudes like that.
Hold on. And see, this is what I'm kind of going to, because now when you get a man, 708-328-8923, give us 2 minutes. Because you don't have a man showing other young boys how to become men and how to become leaders and how to take control, provide, and protect your household. You got a lot of men these days, especially young men, that they don't look or be as driven, or they look for somebody to help them and make everything easy. They look for some. They don't know.
What we're not gonna do. We're not gonna sit up here and we're not gonna bash.
No, I'm saying. No, I'm not.
This is why I'm on the west side of Chicago.
I'm saying.
You have
learned. Let me say this.
You have learned behavior.
Let me say this. Every time we get into subjects like this, you do try to play that whole lover boy type role and try to downgrade guys to try to uplift yourself a little bit. Now I'm calling you on the spot on that, dog.
All right, hold on.
Now we gonna stop this, because at some point in time you wasn't at the position you was in.
So
you was fucking stuck somewhere.
Hold on.
So let's keep it real.
And we're gonna keep it real.
All right then.
And before I got to my position, I worked 2-3 jobs. So
all right then.
I ain't.
But at the same time, you had a point in your time where you failed, and you had a point in your time where you struggled with females, and you had a point in your time where it was a problem.
No, let's be real. No, hold on.
Everything I always want to pitch credit.
No, hold on.
Let's not talk
No,
like that.
hold on. Fuck this fire department shit for a second. I'm trying to say that before it, I had to work 2 jobs. I had to work for everything, and I had his most important thing. I had nothing given to me, and I could care less whether a female liked me or not, because it's about survival.
Have you been in a relationship with a guy?
Oh, I ain't trying to be in a relationship.
Okay,
with
so don't sit up here and try to go. No, don't sit up here and try to go and like downgrade like certain things of what we talking about.
It's not about downgrade. I'm trying to say is when you cannot pamper a grown ass
Just
man.
saying, man.
And so, no, hold on. When you pamper a little
You
boy,
sound like that dude on Facebook. What's his name?
No.
The dark-skinned
No,
cat.
just
What's his name?
this real
Like
talk.
straight up.
No, hold on, time out. Because like I said, I do a lot of reading, and I hear a lot of females saying,
708-328-8923.
I hear a lot of females saying men should be leaders, but then they're not leaders because it's a lot of them that because of
what is a leader then, LeVar?
You know what? You take control of your own destiny. You don't wait for nobody to take control
How can a man
of
be
your
a leader?
livelihood.
How can a man be a leader to a woman?
First of all, you gotta take care of yourself. First of all.
But we're not talking about that.
No.
We're talking about the narrative at hand since we done switched it over.
A
Hold
leader
on.
is somebody.
But you lead by example.
Lead by example. Somebody who's willing to listen, to understand, and willing to bring up the people that they're willing to be committed to doing justice. They're willing to make the world around them better. A leader can take the ideas, the conversation, and the things that his partner is saying, sacrifice,
Right.
but at the same time, it's kind of a bend on break mentality, and this is kind of the athlete thing where you're like, I understand who you are, but for the betterment of the team, this is what's gonna make us better.
Exactly.
No,
What a leader don't
Right.
want to do, you're not a dictator.
that's true.
A
That's
leader
true.
is not a dictator. A leader is not someone who don't listen. And a leader is not someone who say, we're gonna do it my way and that's it.
That you know what?
A
That's true.
leader has to have a flexible thinking, and a leader has to be willing to evolve
Can I
because
say
we as
something?
people evolve and grow.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
You know, this whole role thing. What?
No, this is you, dog.
I'm being real. Hey,
you in real.
Let me tell y'all something. This ain't Black Hippie right here, man. This
We
is
need
John.
all-
This is Jonathan Kia Gregory right
Thank
here,
you, man.
We
Joe.
need all that.
This is the Joe did.
Uh-huh.
Us as society, we are so fucking trained and traditional that it is fucking ridiculous, Joe. That we actually have this false sense of
Entitlement.
placement.
Okay.
Yeah, entitlement.
Entitlement.
And in life, when you get with a woman or when a woman get with a man, my whole thing is I thought that when y'all got together, it was for the betterment for both of y'all. Whether you work or whether I work, it's for the betterment for the both of us. But if I'm not working and you working, you better be coming up with a plan to get us rich. You get what I'm saying? You better be doing something.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? So my whole thing is about a man being a leader. Me personally, a man being a leader is putting his woman up on game. So just in case I fall short, you know how to walk with the crowd, just like I know how to walk with the crowd to keep things going. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like that is more so as a leader. A man like Joe, I'm putting you eye to eye with me. Now, can you keep up? Because I feel like a man should never have to cut back on his lifestyle because of the woman that he chose. You feel what I'm saying?
You know what?
So therefore, if I'm moving fast in business, she got to be able to move fast in business with me. Else you're going to get left behind and then you're going to be wondering. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel, and I agree with you when you said keep up with me. But then that situation because at some point, and it's like I said, in order to be a leader, you have to know when to set the tone and when to be flexible. Like you said, because like when you get with a woman, we all been in relationships where you had to make compromises.
Of course.
And so and sometimes
even with our
and let's be honest, and we men, sometimes you make the compromises that you pretty much don't like. Because if this go for everybody. If you could have your cake and eat it too, you wouldn't have a complaint in the world. But that's not the world we live in.
But that's just that's the betterment to betterment your situation.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
But what I was trying to exemplify was you look for somebody else because you got a lot of people that they latch on to people and it's like, okay, I don't have to change a thing. I can just stay status quo. Mm-hmm. They don't think about getting to the next level.
Exactly.
Now, there's nothing wrong. Now, don't get me wrong. Miss Love Brady says she's calling in here.
Call in, we are 708-328-8923.
Yeah.
We want to hear your voice.
She's called, and it's like you set the tone, but at the same time, it's like you think about getting to that next level. Like I'm gonna make it simplified and as complicated as possible. It's like If I get with a woman and say we both live in an apartment and we serious about each other, and one of us is lacking somewhere, all right, hold on, we're gonna come together, we're gonna work this out, we're gonna work on the next plan because I want to get a house with you at one point.
Listen, is it always about the financial?
No, it goes back to even raising kids. You was probably raised different than I was, and we both was probably raised different than Lack was.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa with females and stuff like that.
Grandma.
You know what I'm saying? We all raised differently. So it's like when you get with man and a woman is naturally a nurturer, certain things are gonna clash because men are gonna be more disciplinarians.
Hello.
Hello?
We got a caller.
Or did we call it back?
Who we speaking to?
This is nothing ready. Y'all
Yeah.
Hold on. That, you know what? Okay, that's your stage name. Hey, I appreciate. I seen your news segment about the feeding the homeless. I loved it.
Thanks, y'all.
You gotta talk into your phone. We can't hear you.
Okay, hello.
Yeah.
All right, we can hear you now.
Why y'all bashing women like that?
What?
We're not bashing women.
What is bashing to you? What are we saying that you feel is
I
bashing?
agree.
Go ahead.
What don't you
Go
agree
ahead.
with?
That's why we want you to call in. Go ahead.
Man, y'all just sitting here bashing women. I don't appreciate that. It's some good women out here.
We never
We
said it
never
wasn't.
said it wasn't.
How do you feel about what we said?
We just
Why?
we just talking about recent times.
Hold on, let me load this down.
Okay.
Hello?
Tell us
Yeah,
how-
we talking we talking about recent times.
Can I update it real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it was a news thing about Chicago firefighter who's got alleged charges about sexual assault. He was dating a woman. Everything was consensual. She went reported, accused him of sexual assault. The young man with the fire department has turned himself in to authorities. He gave up his phone. He showed the text messages and everything. She supposedly went to the hospital, had a rape kit performed on her. The first hospital she went to didn't have one. She waited 4 days before she went to another hospital to have the procedure done. And the man was arrested. Well, I guess he was arrested. He had a $50,000 bond, and he's on house arrest at this point. So that's where the topic came, was female targeting, because we looped this in with Bill Cosby and the Chris Brown situation.
Hello?
Hey, love, are you still
Yeah,
there? Okay.
Yes, but I feel like nowadays everybody has to protect themselves, both male and female.
Elaborate.
You guys, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I just feel like both male and female have to protect themselves in the way society is, you know. I feel males are victims. I feel women are victims. I just feel like everybody has to be cautious nowadays. Who they let in your life, who they let in their home, who they let around your children, around, you know, you have to be cautious.
I'm glad she
You know,
brought that
it's just not males, and it's just not, you know, it's just not female. I just said overall, with the way society is, because you gotta think about it, the peer pressure that we have now, or our kids have now, back then, we didn't have it. You
Not
know,
on duty.
so it's like now we have social media, we have technology, we have computers,
That's
we
what I
have,
was just talking
we have
about.
so much more. You said what?
That's what I was just talking
Yeah,
about. Keep going, keep
yeah.
going.
We have so much more to deal with, and not only that, I just think we all have to be cautious, you know. But y'all are bashing women.
No, we
That's
not.
not
You
nice.
better stop.
There
No,
are
we
some
not.
good women out here. There are
Where your
good women out
friends
there,
at,
and
or
there are some good men out there, and there's some shitty assholes out there. Like, period. You just have to be cautious of who you allow to be in your face. That's what you guys should have said.
Can I
was over here, and
can I-
that's not nice.
can I say something, love?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, can I call you Miss Love?
I I'm listening.
Okay then, Miss Love, cause it sounds so better coming off the tongue. Miss Love,
Hey.
you gotta check it out like this. Just like you said, you have women out here that are bad, and you have men out here that are bad. But the targeting females is the topic that we got right now. So I think when you came in during the part where we was debating about certain situations and scenarios that was going in that was probably targeted. In the beginning, we said
Right.
something totally different in our content. So that's what it was mainly about, because it was a firefighter that was with a 26-year-old woman, and by him being in a professional standard, you know, now he's being charged with rape and out on a $50,000 bond. Alright, now they already got evidence that it's text messages of friendly talk even after she said, allegedly said no. I'm gonna say everything is allegedly, and that's not bashing her, because just like you don't know, I don't know.
Mhm.
So allegedly she said
Right.
no. Who knows? Who knows that this is the way they might have played all the time, and this time he probably took it a little bit too far. You don't know. So allegedly she said no in a manner that was like, get up off me or whatever. But as she left, she called the police, I guess, and he turned himself in. She went and got the rape case. One hospital didn't have it. She went 4 days later, got another one. Now they waiting on the results. I mean, if they was in a relationship before and they find any type of semen in her, of course it's gonna be his. Because this is the one who she engaged in sexual activity with before this
So let me
point.
ask you a question. So do you believe a husband could rape a wife?
You know what? Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yes, I do. But it's dependent on the relationship. If she's in an abusive relationship where he whooping her ass,
If a woman says no, no means, but if a woman says no, no means no.
that you are right. You are right.
But see,
She is right. She is right. I can't argue with her. She's right.
I agree. I agree.
If I tell you to stop, that means I need you to stop doing whatever you're doing. I need you to stop.
Hold on. You can cuss on this show now.
That means to stop.
You can cuss on the show.
You said what?
You can cuss on the show.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'll be ladylike.
Yeah.
I did.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
did.
Now,
We don't have the FAA or what's the people?
FCC.
FCC. We don't have the FCC.
No, but you know what? I bring this up because let's say she did have this. Like I said, let's say she did have an agenda, and for whatever reason of being with this dude.
And I'm not on his side. I'm not on his side.
Hold on. I'm neutral.
How many men do you know that have agendas for women? How many men do you know that use women for their cars, for their homes, for their money?
Tax season.
How many women do the same thing?
It's tax season.
Hold on.
It's vice versa.
Hold on. To answer her question.
Okay, talk to y'all, so y'all ask me the call, so y'all gotta listen.
To answer her question.
No, she right. Let her
She
talk.
right.
All right, I gotta answer the question though. 98% have an agenda. I gotta be honest about it. At least the other 2%, they gay as fuck.
I just feel like now, in the era of now, like today, I think it's both ways. I think there's men who don't have jobs. I think there's men who don't have this shit together, and it's women who are more powerful than men.
True.
And because that is how society is, these men become charmers. They feel like they can do whatever they want to do. I can't hear you, but I see you moving your mouth. Are you listening to me?
It's a time delay if you're watching it, so you have to actually speak first, and it'll pick up on the video later.
Oh, she talking about you.
No, she talking about me.
What she talking about?
She said it's a delay.
No, it is. But what I'm saying is that nowadays, there's men out here who use women, and that's nothing that just started today. It's always been like that. Oh, babe, give me your car while you go to work. Let me drop you off at work. Let me use your car. Or the woman leaves the house and goes to work and the nigga is laid in the bed. Don't come on here and bash women. That is messed up. We
Yeah.
are free.
The tax
Y'all are
money.
supposed to
Whoa,
be
whoa, whoa.
raising us.
Let
Y'all
her
are
finish.
supposed to be pouring into us, not bashing us.
Pouring into y'all.
Lazar, you know freaking that.
Hold on. Why should we pour into them?
That's where it came in.
Oh, you got this?
I call it hitting the agenda right here. What she mean?
Pour
Hey,
into
Lazar?
us.
First
We
of
got a
all,
poor incident. A poor
Boy,
incident.
into
What is that? Define that.
No,
hold
you don't hang up. Go ahead, LeVar.
First of all,
Because you're about to get the flush the toilet and put out the door.
Oh,
After she
no,
no,
gets
I ain't
sick
gonna
of
put
that.
out the show. I ain't gonna put out the
Poor
show.
incident.
No, we're close friends, so we talk about a lot of different things.
Okay.
Okay, so it's
Women
like
poor
it is a
head.
little personal between, not personal, but it's like we respect each other as men and women.
GTD.
But
Hey, Lack.
GTD.
Hey, Lack.
hold on.
Lack. Come sit next to me and put him over there.
No,
I don't
like
like
you
the
better
way
stay
this-
put.
I don't like the way this going.
No, but seriously, I think she came in on one part because I said it goes vice versa. Like you do have men that also use women. I did say that on the show earlier in
Yeah,
the segment.
Hippie already acknowledged
So,
that.
but the thing is, I don't think she heard me say that part, but she heard me kind of go off a little bit on the women part when I started because I was replying to the news thing on the.
Let me
on the
ask you
Sunshine.
this. Let me ask you this. Please stay on the phone. Love, listen to this. Any one of you fellas, have you ever had a woman use you?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Have you ever had a woman use you for your car?
Yes.
Have you ever had a woman use you for your place?
Yes.
Just to even just wash her ass for a good time?
Yes.
Have you had a woman use you for your money?
Yes.
Have you ever had a woman use you just to get her something to eat? Have you
Yes.
ever had a woman use you just for nails?
My name
Yes.
has been cool for a
Have you ever
long
had a woman-
time.
Have you ever had a woman call you with some sob story late at night just to get her kids something?
Yes.
I haven't had it.
Well,
I have.
yeah, maybe.
I haven't had it.
All them things I have named,
Yeah.
I have went through with a woman.
Yeah.
So when you come on here and say we bashing women,
And
I feel like you just
take
came on
talk
my
into
show and kind of low key bash men on some revengeful shit like a woman would do.
Oh no, let me tell you, I'm so respectful of men.
Okay.
But if I see an asshole, I'm gonna call him out.
Okay.
Plain blank.
Now,
right?
what was that call
That's what it is.
into one
And I
thing
came
she
in
said?
and
I
I
don't know.
said there's good women and men. However, there's also shitty people in this world, and that's who you have to be conscious of, the shitty ones.
She can define
I
that
didn't call back to
ASAP.
men. I said,
But you did run down a long list of things that, you know, and so I had to run down a long list of traits too. Not saying that you fall in them, but I'm just saying.
Okay, well, let's talk about the Love Great movement. You know, let's talk about some positive things in Chicago.
What's the Love Grady movement?
You know, I go there every 2 weeks, you know, and see the people in Tent City and Lower Wacker Drive and Upper Wacker Drive and
That's what's up.
Michigan Avenue and
Can we give her a round of
on
applause
the
for that
west
thing?
side and the west loop and the south loop. And, you know, I'm accepting donations.
She does do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
She had I think, what was it?
Elder Time, homeless girl.
And it's called the Love Brady movement.
Yes.
Yeah, so make sure y'all
You got
support
a
the Love
website?
Grady movement.
Everything I do is actually connected to my Facebook. You know, it's called Love Brady Movement.
Type it in your search
And
engine.
everything I type out and cook. I get the donations. I
Socks.
go to the grocery store. I find the groceries. I come home. I cook it. I package it. I load up the car. And I do 200 plates, 200 snack bags, and 200 hygiene
Wow.
bags.
That's dope.
That's amazing.
I actually went out there and supported her like one time. It was in passing, I gotta be honest about that. But she does do that. So
That's
So when is
awesome.
the next event?
I'm thinking February 16th. I'm not really sure about the date because I'm actually.
That's a Saturday?
Sunday.
You said what?
That's a Saturday?
Sunday.
That's the All-Star Weekend.
You know, right, I wanted to do, like even today, I went down to Tent City, I bought 160 sandwiches, and I bought 2 boxes of bananas, and, which had 18, bundles in each box. And I went down there and I passed breakfast out outside the city this morning. So it's like,
And she-
when donations come in,
She also,
I go out there, I don't hold on to it, because I feel like if God is blessing me to bless others, you don't hold on to the blessing. You just go out there and you do what you need to do and
You're an angel,
bless
sweetheart.
others, because you don't know what kind of day they're having, you know
You're
what
an
I
angel.
mean?
Yeah.
That's dope.
and it's not just with the food. She also does like socks and underwear and like
That's what's up. bro.
toiletries and stuff like that for them as
Sure.
well. So I mean, like I said, I went out there and I showed my support. She go live with you and everything. you pass out some places, you meet some other guys out there that actually go through some rough stuff.
So you say February 16th,
15.
15th,
16.
Yeah, I'm thinking it starts with the 15th.
the
Oh,
16th?
yeah, 16 better.
You know? Yeah, they deserve some love. They deserve some Valentine's Day love too, you
Absolutely.
know?
Yeah, the 16th is a better day.
I dig. I'm down.
We gotta,
I'm gonna come support
you know,
you.
we gotta spread the love, you know, and even like with, when it was cold outside, like I paid for 25 rooms at the Bhre. But, you know, I do my part.
Yeah. I'm still
And
waiting on her.
it's good women out here.
Hey,
It is good women out
Man,
here.
let me know where
hey,
they at.
hey,
Point me in their
Smith,
direction.
Let me tell you, let me just say this. I'm not gonna categorize you as a good woman. I'm gonna categorize, no, let me
Wait.
just say this. I'm gonna put her in the category as a good spirit,
that's
Oh,
yeah.
a
yeah.
good soul.
Absolutely.
She really is
For
like
real.
this. She's not.
Nah, she an angel. She's
Because
an
for
angel.
for you to go out there and take your own money and pay for these people to, you know, have some place to be warm, that's dope.
Yeah.
Like for real, that's real dope.
Well, I didn't take all my money. I did receive donations.
Okay.
Donations do come in. I do use my Facebook for asking for donations. People donate $10, $20. The most I've had somebody donate is $900. I mean, this is actually great people out here in Chicago. Everybody doesn't have to give it, so you know, there's people who do donate. There's people who do care. There's people who do give. You know, you might not have the time because you work, or you might not have the time because you go to school. You know, but I make the time to go out there because I feel like I'm blessed. I feel like I'm a blessed woman. I feel like God has given me so many blessings that I have to share. You know, it's like when God speaks to you, you have to listen. You can't say no, I'm not gonna do this, or
That's
no,
dope.
I don't wanna listen to you.
That's dope.
You have to listen. You have to go out there and be the vessel and be the messenger and uplift others. You know, because it's like when we look throughout the city, we ignore mental health. We ignore, you know, emotional. We ignore a lot of shit. You know, you gotta think about it. When you institutionalize people, you medicate them, and then you release them to the streets. Who takes care of them? How are they medicated? How do they eat? How do they clothe themselves?
Right.
That's true.
You know, so it's
Yeah.
like, we the people make the Constitution, not the politicians, it's we the people. We have to vote. So if we are that powerful, why are we not that powerful in the streets of Chicago?
She brings up a good point. It was going to be another show topic for Live and Direct that I want to do on another day. Do you think you'll ever be free to come in and do a show with us when we talk about?
God damn, I mean, he just moved fast and just made plans without me just sitting there. What do you want?
Mike Larry.
Do you want me to move and you take
Mike
over?
Larry,
Is
God.
that what you want?
Hey, girl, you know what? Why don't you go ahead and put that thing on I like, and go ahead and come over here and do a show with us.
I think she gonna bring some plates too.
I really do.
You gonna bring plates?
Oh.
Hey, beloved, that's,
Have to donate.
hey, love, that's
Y'all
dope
have
though.
to donate to the cause. Y'all have to donate, you know? Look, I have donated, but you guys haven't. Yeah, you know.
I'll donate, but don't beg.
Definitely.
I'll donate, but don't be begging, alright?
I'm gonna put it right here, hold on. This is my test app. I'm gonna put my test app right here.
Okay.
I would definitely come, but I have a bodyguard, you know? And that
Okay.
bodyguard, I always kind of bring it with me everywhere I go. You
Okay.
know, so it's me and plus one.
All right, we got you.
I can't see the shadows in my room.
I love Grady.
Well, thank you for having me, guys.
Love
Alright, let you call it in.
Another day. I will let the bar know when I'm coming.
We all kings up here. Recognize when you
Let's
call.
go.
She gonna cuss me
All right,
out, man,
then,
but
be
she
cool.
let me know.
I know, I'm not gonna curse you out because I done did what I came to do, talk about the Love Dirty movement and let y'all know that we are queens out here in Chicago.
We kings, so recognize that. You know what I mean?
Man,
Recognize that, boo.
Talk to you
That's
later.
all I'm
you got a
saying.
bunch of two working around here, you know. We from
That's
Congo.
all. Because but see, hippie, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, and we talking about roles and leadership and stuff in this time before we go to break or commercial. With the time we living in, yes, you know, I embrace the women empowerment movement. I like, you know, women being looked at as equal and working hard, being sexual. I got daughters. I'm happy for that. The thing is, this is the thing that I have a problem with. When these females get in these positions where they have a little power or where they're being successful, and they feel that they can either look down, degrade, or come at a man in a way that is, you know, you can say disrespectful, but the way they make it seem like you better than me. No, sweetheart, you not. No, sweetheart, you not. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? Men are the head of the household. This is how we are designed. That's how we are created. We are powerful. And women are helpmeets. And even if you're successful, you know what I mean, and you have a man in your life or you encounter a man, it's your job to be encouraging. Like she was talking about, Miss Love Brady was talking about empowering women and all that stuff, and that's cool. And that's, you're right, we should do that. But you got, as women, as nurturers in your DNA, that's who you are. You gotta make sure you quick to empower that man.
You ain't gonna get no nurturing spirit out of a lot of these females now.
Especially nowadays, yeah.
So now you gotta have like a totally different approach when it comes to these females. Like for real.
Oh, I do.
And it ain't no bashing, it ain't none of that stuff, man. It's just calling it how it is.
What we
man.
see.
Honestly.
I mean,
What
like,
we see, this is
it ain't about like, okay, yeah, I grew up in a household where I see a man do this, I see a man do that. No, I didn't. I grew up in a household where I saw a woman, she worked 2 and 3 jobs, she went to church every Sunday, she didn't curse around me, I ain't see her drink, I ain't see her smoke and do all that. So if I wanted to put the standards on a high standards on a woman, I could.
Yeah. I mean,
But
we
I
all
can't,
do.
but I can't because I can't compare them to that woman because that woman was my mother. I can't do that. So therefore, that's why I always tell y'all, I take everybody eye level. I take everybody eye level. I don't put nothing past you, and I don't put nothing in front of you. I treat you for who you are because I have took that role to where I had to be the male dominant role.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Pay for everything, do all that. Guess who was pissed off, got miserable, and went out and fucked other bitches?
you.
Because I got tired of looking at that bitch laying in the bed. You get what I'm saying?
I want to say facts.
I'm just saying.
But
You get what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But
Yeah.
that's the leader. But since I was playing a leader role, I should have had the motherfucking I should have had a pass then, right?
now you just pulled your LeBron James card. Hey,
But I'm
man,
just
doing
saying,
this stuff, you gotta
I should have had a pass because I was doing the role that she wanted me to do, right?
Oh,
I was
yeah.
doing a role that 90%, 95% of these women want to do, right? Yeah.
And what they talking about? What she just got through talking about.
You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, Joe, we
And
got-
then what about when you doing that role and the woman you with or the female, like some, not all, because I gotta make sure you know that, but when that's not appreciated and that's not good enough,
Yeah,
and they want more.
Yeah, you
Or
not
they feel like you not, you just you unappreciated when you do those roles.
you know what? That's when a man moves
And we've
around.
had that show before.
And that's when the man moves around. Like, and I'm gonna put everybody. I'm gonna let women in on the secret. When a man gets to a point where he feel unappreciated,
It's over.
let that shit go. It's
It's
over.
over.
There's nothing you can do to change that because we'll be patient enough to give you ample opportunities. And this is where they say men are different. This is where men are different from women. Men will get with you in the beginning, and we'll bypass all your flaws in the beginning. But it's hard later on once we actually give you that chance to correct a lot of stuff. Women look for your flaws in the beginning, and in that manner, ruin a lot of good things before they even get started. And that's where this thing gets twisted. You know what I'm saying? About having agendas and having these fairy tale situations and so on like that. So like I said, like you brought up the story, she probably had an agenda and she did put in a lot of effort. Like it goes both ways, but it's about understanding one another and actually putting this truth out there for everybody to just say, you know what, let me think about this. Let me check myself for a second. Because
I just want us to get out of traditional thinking, man.
yeah.
We can't think that.
I just want us to get out of traditional
We live in a time that it is not the same, hippie. It's not the same.
Traditional
It's over with.
thinking is fucking up relationships before they even get to marriages, man. Like,
It really
like
is.
straight up. It really is. Why you just can't be my partner? Why you just can't be my PLC? Why you just can't be that?
Oh,
You get what I'm saying?
it's,
Why you can't be my homie?
Hey,
You
it's not traditions messing up. It's not tradition. No, it's not traditions that's messing up relationships before they get started. It's, and I'm not gonna sit here and say men and women. It's the people that try to straddle the fence that actually fucks it up in the beginning.
I get what you're
It's
saying.
like, okay, the man does everything he provides, okay, but if you're gonna say that, then the woman stay at home and she don't have as much to say because the man taking care of everything else. But you go out here and you work and you make your own money. So it's like you can't straddle the fence both ways. That's where the compromise comes in. That's when you have to talk, you have to communicate, you have to find that common ground where you guys are compatible on.
Mm-hmm.
But you have individuals who try to straddle that fence, like I go back to say, have your cake and eat it too, and that's how shit gets all fucked up. And then it's all it takes is that one person to actually live by it and say it, and then it's another person that's weak-minded enough to go along with the bullshit. We talking about calling a spade, right? That's what it is.
I got the big joker.
You got the big joke. What you talking about, man? Go ahead, live DX show, man. We're gonna go ahead and take a music break, come back and wrap it up.
Hey, Major, look.
You goes to love, man. I know
Ain't
she
that's
does.
Nas?
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, Major, look. I know you said somebody
That's
else.
my pregame
Oh, you
shit.
talking about her, Major, okay. I'm like,
That's the truth, man. Traditional thinking got
It's
to go out
over
the window,
with.
man. Like for real. And that's where a lot of chicks and a lot of dudes, I ain't gonna just gonna say chicks, a lot of dudes missing their beat. What's it?
Answers to the question I had earlier.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, Knicks Rockets. That's what I was about to write down. I was sure gonna write down Knicks Rockets. But that Trailblazers one, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Cause you know King won it that year Mike retired.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they swept the Knicks, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they swept the Knicks. But yeah, man, Joe, that way of thinking, Joe, like,
It's over with.
it's over with, man.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of women, Joe, to be honest, keep it real, a lot of women ain't even accepting that shit now, Joe.
No.
Like, straight up.
I mean, because if you get, like I said, women are nurturers by nature, so it's like if they don't see where they can upgrade you because you handle your business.
How can you tell a woman with no kids that she's a nurturer?
I wish I was a woman to answer that question. To be honest with you, I can't answer it.
But you said women are natural
I
nurturers.
said by nature, yes.
Right? So how can you tell a woman with no kids she's a nurturer?
I wish I can. I wish I can. I'm gonna be honest with you.
A woman with no kids feel like she can run just like you and run with you.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
What you gotta say about that type of female?
You know what? Hold on.
How would you categorize? How would you put her in the category?
You bring up a good point because when you say nurturers, I take nurturing.
I'm gonna dissect that.
No, I'm saying I take nurturing and showing a little bit of compassion. Like and I can only speak as a father. You'll be more of a disciplinarian towards your kids when they're young and teaching them.
But you're
But
not
a
raising
woman,
no woman.
but a woman would be like, you know
You're not
what?
raising no woman.
You might want to be a little bit more kinder and not be so mean to come off so hard. Like that's why I'm linking the nurturing part in too.
Man, do not like look at like women as like you, like, cause I told a female this like I don't know a while ago. I said I'm not raising no grown woman.
Right.
Like your daddy and your mama should have did that.
Really?
It's either
I feel the same
in
exact
it,
fucking way.
we either in it together to get better or not. Everything you didn't
And,
do
and raising them don't mean I'm doing everything financial.
for you. No,
No,
I'm
that
not.
you put
That's
that out
over
the
with.
way.
No,
That's over with.
you can't.
Put that I mean, I'm
can't
not
expect
ready
to
to use
feel no
fire
void.
like
You
giving
can't.
you certain common sense guidance in life that you already supposed to have amongst
Right.
yourself.
I ain't
I'm not
trying to feel
say
no void.
female.
You get what I'm saying?
I ain't trying to. I
I'm
ain't
not
trying.
trying to be
I'm
your
not
daddy
saying
all
nobody,
over
right.
again because you missing that.
Yeah,
Right.
real.
You get what I'm saying?
Or you,
That's,
or
that's
you,
how somebody get hurt.
Come
or
on
you,
again.
or you lack that, and you trying to feel that. Yeah, like you
Yeah,
said.
that's how-
Charlie Live,
that's how
that was
somebody
Nas made you look.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
that. That's a classic.
We sitting back talking, man. We live across the air, we live across Facebook, we live across YouTube, man. Y'all can catch the recording on both of those right there. On YouTube, y'all gonna catch all off the camera.
Oh yeah.
On Facebook too. Y'all
The
gonna catch
uncut.
all
Yes,
off
sir.
the mic talk, man. So we sitting back.
That's the
man,
classic
chilling.
shit.
Yeah, man. We came prime time, gonna wrap up the show, man.
Yep.
Getting late. I gotta get up at 4:45 in the morning.
I'll coffee in the morning for you
I
then.
don't drink.
Yeah.
Tea?
I don't drink tea in the morning. I drink tea, but I don't drink it in the
Well,
morning.
you gotta take something in the morning to get up.
I just take natural high.
Yep.
Like
Municipal purposes.
I make.
The natural, all right, that's enough. That's all I gotta
Life,
say.
man.
Wait a minute, hold on. See, I can't be associated to nothing else because of the report that came out, so I gotta, you know.
I mean, I just get a natural high of life, man. That's
Yep,
all.
I understand that, bro.
That's all. So when I wake up in the morning, like I would put it out there. When I wake up in the morning, my girl she think I'm mean, but I actually don't be mean. It's like I'm just getting up. I'm trying to get my brain and everything else caught up because I gotta mentally manipulate myself to go into a job and punch a clock that I really don't want to do because I want to sit here and try to build my own business. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I struggle with in the morning. It's not being mean, it's mentally manipulating yourself.
God damn, I gotta take care of this shit today.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know the exact words you probably say sometimes.
And in the end,
What the fuck I gotta get?
but in the end, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you gotta do.
That's being a leader. Handling your
That's
business.
leading by example, right?
That's handling your
Yeah.
business.
So that's my thing. Like that I gotta mentally manipulate myself every motherfucking morning.
True story.
But go ahead. Any shout outs, any rants y'all want to do?
Man, hey, y'all can catch me, man. Thanks for you guys. Man, hippie, man, we've been away too long, man. I'm just glad we can get a show in tonight.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Big ups to my man, Rico Dale. Happy birthday,
Happy
man.
birthday, Rico!
Man, been off
Free.
air. I gotta give another happy birthday out to another fellow Aquarian, Ooch.
Yeah, you know,
Ooh.
I feel bad.
Ooh.
I
Happy
feel
birthday,
bad,
Ooch.
because I didn't send you. I didn't even know it was his birthday. You know how Facebook usually like warn you.
Yeah,
I ain't get no warning.
man.
No, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't warning. I ain't getting no warning.
Ooch and about 80 other people's birthday is today.
I ain't getting no warning. So,
But you know what? Like I said, happy
birthday, Ooch.
Happy birthday. You know what I'm saying? I would include myself, but I got a lot of that over the weekend.
Facts.
Hey, we gonna say I appreciate my man Lack, Ooch, and CL for coming out, man.
Smokey D.
I appreciate all
Smokey
that.
D came out.
Nah,
I asked Smokey D.
I'm just talking.
Like I said.
I thought you shouting them all of
Oh
them.
yeah, Smokey D too.
David
David Michael, he was at the thing. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all the social media love for my birthday. I appreciate everybody who came out. Everything. I'm gonna give up the answers from the thing I had for today. The two teams I was talking about that didn't include those 7 players I named in the trivia question was the 1990 year with the Trailblazers and the Pistons in the finals, and the 1994 year with the New York Knicks and the Rockets.
So that 1990s Pistons and Trailblazers.
Did not include the players I said that represented the NBA in the finals
Why
over the
did
last
I-
38 years.
Why did I think?
I was thinking Dr. J. Who did Dr. J
I
beat the
thought
finals?
they played the Lakers.
They did play
No,
Lakers.
no, they played the Lakers.
Pistons?
Yeah, they played the Pistons
No,
played the
Dr.
year
J.
before.
Dr. J didn't play the Lakers in '83.
Mm-hmm.
No, but we're talking about 90.
Right, yeah.
No,
He
that
said-
was 89, 1990. The Pistons won it 2 times in a row.
Right.
They beat the Lakers the first time
89,
because
right?
that was Kareem's last year.
Okay.
And then the next year they had the Trailblazers.
Damn, I did not know the Trailblazers made the finals in the 90s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who the fuck was on their team?
Clyde and Clyde.
Ralph Sampson.
No, Terry
No,
Porter, Kevin Duckworth.
Ralph Sampson was in Houston, wasn't he?
Oh, Houston, yeah, that's
He was
right.
in Houston.
No, it was Kevin Duckworth, Clyde
Big
Drexler,
Duck.
Terry Porter, I want to say Jerome. I think Jerome Christian was on that team too. Those are the players I know.
In the 90s?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because 2 years later,
Clyde,
2 years later, they played the
Clyde the
Bulls.
Glide made it to the league in what, 83?
He came the year
84?
before
A year
Jordan.
before?
yeah, the year before Jordan.
Because I was a Clyde the Glide fan.
Yeah,
Before
because-
that.
And here's
That was the rival with Jordan.
And
Jordan
here's the
like, I'm better than
thing,
him.
if you go back to even the 91 finals, the Lakers actually beat the Trailblazers, but so they could have actually went to the finals 3 years in a row because the year after the Bulls beat the Lakers,
When did the Bulls play the Portland Trailblazers?
92.
92. So they had an opportunity to go 3 straight years. So before
Damn, I did not
before
know
the ass wipes like Nick Wright and them say Jordan never played nobody, I think he might want to go and check his stats again.
Nah.
Yeah.
Any shout outs in the rest? Like,
Oh, I'll be at Robinson's in about 30 minutes.
I'm on my way with you, bro. Just shout out to, man, Happy New Year to you fellas. This is the first show I've done this year. This is year 2, like me and LeVar said, we came in together. Just shout out to these boys, Hippie, for just growing the entity of Black Hippie Radio Entertainment. We are reaching everybody, and for all the people who see us on the street and say, when y'all doing the next show, when y'all do the next show, Black Hippie Radio Entertainment is now 24 hours. You could tune in, listen to some awesome music. Oh my God. You could send music
yeah,
if you want. And we're going to try to make sure that somebody will be assisting Black Hippie every day so that you guys can get this show that you guys always ask us about.
Well,
I get literally 200 to 300 people asking when all of us gonna get together. Cause it's not about, cause I do a lot of sports stuff, but this dynamic, people are very entertained and intrigued by Hippie. You know, you're a numbers guy and you always look at the numbers. When we all together, people are happy. And we wanna make sure that we give the people what they
Well, we
want.
bust the mob of the things when we get on, all of us.
When
come
all of us
yeah.
together, it's awesome.
Oh yeah, we gotta also give a shout out to Love Grady for putting up business out there
Love
and calling
Grady.
in too. So
Yeah, thank you for supporting the people that need help.
happy birthday.
Yes, sir.
LeVar, happy
When is your birthday?
good, yeah.
No, Hippie.
My birthday October.
Oh.
Happy birthday, Ooch. Happy birthday, Rico.
Rico for 3.
Sorry I didn't come out Sunday, but we had a little Super Bowl get together thing here.
Yeah.
You know, Robinson's I couldn't make it because I gotta get up at 4:45 in the morning.
Absolutely.
And once I get the groove,
That's all right.
once I
Hey,
get the
bro.
groove, I ain't gonna want to go.
Hey, I got, I'm gonna go ahead and, excuse me.
So
I gotta talk to the mic. I'm gonna go ahead and have fun for you.
it ain't like I don't want to be there, man. It's just being a leader, being responsible.
Absolutely.
Hey, you are very responsible. But me, I'm gonna
But
be a
now-
little irresponsible.
But now, if I wanna come out doing kick it with y'all because they're my peoples up there. Crystal Robinson, her and her peoples, that's their joint. I went to school with them, man. I wanna come out, but I just gotta get up too early in the morning, man. Fuck that shit.
Well, you'll see Rico Saturday.
But, yeah, I see you Rico Saturday. You're gonna be at Rocky Patel's. I don't know what time though.
Mhm.
We'll hit him. We'll find out.
We'll find out. I'm thinking like 8 o'clock, 8
That's like,
p.m. So
it's easy for us to find out about what
Yeah.
Rico thinks, so
Yeah,
we'll figure
right.
it out.
I'm most definitely gonna be out Saturday, man. Shout out to these guys for coming out. You know, even though Jatim was late. You know, we don't say nothing about that.
I think that Hulk does. You see how the Hulk kind of like
Yeah,
bust through the
yeah,
window
yeah,
sills a
yeah.
couple times there.
But
Yeah.
yeah, man, shout out to these guys for coming out, man. Like said, man, it's 24/7. It's live right now. So even when we click off, y'all can enjoy the music. I'm gonna do my best to get behind this mic as much as I can, to talk about as much as I can, to build things up, to build numbers up. You know, like I said, I checked today. Early this morning, it was over 30 people listening to the music. I haven't checked since this morning, but every time I check, when I check in the morning, it'd be a low number, but when I check at night, the numbers be high. You get what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, that's because Europe is 9 hours ahead of us.
so I mean, it's out there. It's a platform to get out there. It's a platform to be heard, and it's just gonna get bigger and better. Camera angles coming soon. PHIE, enjoy the music.
Peace!
Catch y'all in a minute.
Hey!
I ain't drinking nothing hard tonight. I'm on all beers tonight.
I am.
Damo, I'm on the way. Have my drink ready.
Man, don't you gotta get to the school tomorrow, man?
I do hit me, but I can't see the shadows in my room.
Man,